Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Games Done Quick Hot Fix. My name is Adef, and I'll be your host this evening. This is Challenger Approaching, the show that features challenge runs and the runners that perform them. Tonight, we will have Etiquette performing Pokemon Let's Go Eevee Beat Red, and we'll hear what that's all about in just a second, but some announcements first. AGDQ 2022 online game and volunteer submissions are closed, but stay tuned for more volunteering opportunities coming up at gamesdonequick.com as we get closer to the event. Also, if you miss out on any GDQ Hotfix shows like this one, check out our archive of past runs and shows at youtube.com/gamesdonequick. And now I have something to read, Etiquette, Shen, if that's okay with the both of you.
Go for it.
Okay, this is fun. I wrote this. It just feels important. On February 12th, 2021, on this very show, Challenger Approaching, a humble shenanigans underscore put on display the Pokemon Emerald Speedlock Challenge. Joining him on comms were host Adef and fellow Pokemon speed legends Kizaron and Etiquette. The run, a success. The commentary, questionable. But that day, a tradition was born. It was foretold by the Challenge Run scholars that these three runners, these three titans, these three heroes would trade off appearances on this very show, cycling through runner and comms, ensuring that the commentary booth would never be what a traditional marathon runner might call very good. But the prophecy was prophesied nonetheless. So exactly 1 month later, Kizaron got his turn, running the Pokemon Emerald Evolution Chaos Challenge on this very same show on March 12th, 2021. He put on a spectacular, albeit comically unlucky performance, aided on comms again by Adef, Shen, and Etiquette. The prophecy continued to herald truth. But then the history books fell silent. The bards sung no more tales of Pokemon challenge runs and their place in the annals of history. For when they cried to themselves late at night, when in their most lonesome moments, when was twitch.tv/Etiquette's turn? Adef pried at Etiquette's steeled heart in his Discord DMs. The people need it. They need you. The prophecy need to be fulfilled, he screamed in text. And Etiquette's response to such a dire call, life is kind of busy right now. I'm actually just kind of like doing a lot of stuff, and I'm not really sure I have a run to do, so. But with enough time and enough fervor, true destiny always wins the day. Fate always succumbs to the bitter desire of the Twitch chat room. So here we all are, back again nearly 8 months to the day after that first show to watch Etiquette perform Pokemon Let's Go Eevee Beat Red Challenge. Boys, take it away.
I don't even know if I want to follow that up. That was amazing.
I'm just picturing Etiquette waking up every morning. His phone's like 105 degrees. DMs just flying through. Hey, when are you coming on the show? Hey, when are you coming on the show? You want to come on the show tomorrow?
Every day. Regrettably, Kizaron cannot join us this evening, but Shen and I are going to do our best to pick up the slack. So, Etiquette, whenever you're ready, give us a countdown.
All right. I got to get into the game. So I had to set the clock first real quick. We'll explain why in a little bit and might be able to show off a new discovery later on if the plan fails. But anyways, my name is Etiquette. We're doing Pokemon Let's Go Eevee Beat Red Challenge. We'll explain what all of those words mean in a little bit. I mean, Pokemon should be self-explanatory. The rest, maybe not so much.
I don't understand Let's Go. I don't get it.
Let's go!
Let's go!
Let's go!
And we are ready to go in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, have fun.
Thanks. All right, so this is Pokemon Let's Go Eevee Beat Red. So the objective of this game, or this challenge run, also speed run, is going to be to beat Pokemon Trainer Red at the end of the game. Not many people know, or not everyone knows, that Red is actually a fightable NPC in this game. In order to unlock Red, you have to beat the game and then beat 6 of the Master Trainers. Master Trainers are trainers that are unlocked at the end of the game. And they are basically trainers that specialize in a single Pokemon. So there's actually 153 of them, I think, because there's the original 151 and then the 2 Gen 7 Mythicals, Melton and Melmetal. And the trick with those fights is that because they specialize in one Pokemon, you have to specialize in one Pokemon as well. In order to beat them, you will become the Pidgey Master or the Eevee Master. And so those fights are very difficult. They are high level. The lowest is going to be level 65. The highest is level 75. And they're you can only use the one Pokemon in battle, and you can't use any items in battle. So for anyone who has seen a Pokemon speedrun, you may know we like to abuse things like X items. That is not something we can do. We can't even heal in battle if we don't have a healing move. So we have some interesting strategies to take out 6 of those Master Trainers. Once we do those 6 Master Trainers, we will have Red unlocked, and we can go battle Red. Red is a team full of level 80 plus Pokemon. Boosted stats all around, and it's in a similar boat. You can use more than one Pokemon, but you still can't use items. So it's a pretty difficult fight. But yeah, aside from that, the start of this is more or less the normal Let's Go speedrun. So we can explain a little bit about that. But I guess...
Yeah, Etiquette, tell us a little bit about, obviously Let's Go is quite different from your traditional mainline Pokemon speedrun, right? Like, the catching mechanics are very different. Even battle mechanics seem somewhat different, right? So, give us the sort of elevator pitch on Let's Go speedruns.
Yeah, so Let's Go is, we're actually going to see it right now. In order to catch a Pokemon, you have to do this. And it is motion controls. A lot of people don't like the motion controls. They're actually not too bad if you sit down and practice them and get consistent at them. Every now and then, we'll do a throw and it will end up on the other side of the world, but most of the time, they can be pretty consistent. And that is one of the biggest changes from the original games. This was sort of a spin-off. It's a main series game, but it's kind of a spin-off that's aimed more toward the Pokemon Go fan base, as well as younger kids in general. So it has the same sort of circle. You don't battle the wild Pokemon. You sort of throw the ball with the motion controls, all that kind of stuff. And the main reason why that is so prevalent in this run as opposed to another Pokemon speedrun where we just catch maybe our new main Pokemon, maybe we get a few Pokemon to use HMs. This game has gym requirements, and basically every gym that we go into is going to have a requirement to enter it. The first gym, we need to have a water or grass type Pokemon. The gym in Fuchsia City, Koga's gym, has a requirement where we have to catch 50 Pokemon. So this being a Generation 1 remake, there's only 151 Pokemon really for us to choose from. So we are forced to catch a third of the available Pokemon. And so that really gives us some unique runs. No run is going to be the same. We have a pool of about 60 to 65, maybe 70 on the top end Pokemon that we could catch from run to run. We have 50 planned Pokemon, but really the catch route's going to differ from run to run so heavily. So it really is a unique experience every time you do a run.
It has a lot of Elite Four Round 2 vibes if you're familiar with Fire Red speedrunning. Just another really cool category where you have to catch 50 or 60 Pokemon to advance the game. So I think that's really cool how you have to adapt based off what you catch.
Yeah, and another thing with this game specifically is they kind of tweaked the experience formula.
Yeah.
And so trainers give you almost no experience, at least compared to wild catches. The first trainer we're gonna fight, aside from our rival, is going to be the youngster up here, and he actually gives you 9 experience. It's a level 3 Rattata. Why is it 9 experience? That's so little. But
yeah,
the game really emphasizes catching. I just mentioned, that's 9 experience for a level 3 Rattata. This is probably a level 3 Pidgey, and it's going to be how much experience for a catch? 40. Cool. That's over 4 times as much experience just for catching something as opposed to defeating it.
That's some math. Let's go.
Yeah, a lot of it comes down to the multipliers. So there's like a base experience you get for, let's say, catching a Pokemon. That Pidgey may have been 10 base experience. Etiquette did an excellent throw. That might be like a 2x multiplier. I'm not sure exactly the numbers, but there's all kinds of bonuses you can get. You get a first ball throw, so if you catch something on the first ball, you get a multiplier. Something you'll be seeing later on is if you throw 2 balls at the same time with the partner trainer, that'll be another bonus. And the bonuses multiply like crazy amounts. You can get this like, I don't know, up to maybe 10 times XP based off of some of the Pokemon you're catching.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that go into it. I don't know the exact numbers. A lot of those sounded correct. You also get a catch if something is a new Pokemon.
Yeah.
So, like, I've never caught a Pidgey before, so I just got extra experience for that. There's also, we're not going to see it in this run, but there is also a catch chain mechanic. So if I'm catching the same Pokemon over and over, it'll boost my multiplier. So the common way to grind levels was to like catch chain Chansey. You'd gain like 1 billion experience. One
mechanic with that chaining thing as well is you find rarer Pokemon. So in some of the other categories, like there's a category called all obtainable Pokemon where you catch, all the obtainable Pokemon in one game. It might be worth it to chain, 10 Rattatas in order to find a rarer Pokemon later on. So that could be a strategy that you use.
Nice crit.
Ooh, that was actually pretty good, yeah. I didn't see if you checked the stats on the Eevee. This Eevee has perfect IVs, which is just a multiplier, not multiplier, it's a bonus to each of your stats. So it can be 0 to 31. This Eevee's all 31, so it'll have much better stats than an average Eevee. It also has a nature, which I don't think we saw, but that will boost and hinder a stat by 10%. So hopefully we got a good one.
Yeah, so I checked it right when I first got the Eevee. I forgot to save before.
Yeah, I noticed that I was gonna say something, but
resetting for your starter actually is really unfortunate. So I probably would have just taken a bad nature unless it was like awful. But yeah, this is a docile Eevee, so it actually isn't boosted or hindered in any stats. It's a completely neutral nature, which is good.
Yeah, there's 5 natures that boost and hinder the same stat, so it's effectively no change.
Yeah, and for Eevee, you don't want minus attack or minus special attack. Obviously, you want to be dealing as much damage as possible. You can deal with minus speed, but it's not ideal. Eevee is like on the cusp of outspeeding a lot of things, as opposed to Pikachu, which is sort of the other, the sister game. The Pikachu is faster than everything. And the things that's not faster than, it uses a move that has priority. So it gets to go first anyways. So speed matters a lot less in Pikachu, but...
Yeah. Probably mentioned, this is not a regular Eevee. It has buffed base stats compared to a normal Eevee. Same with the Pikachu if you're to play on the Pikachu version, but it makes it actually a really good Pokemon for at least the first half of the game. Eventually, this Eevee isn't going to cut it anymore and we'll switch to something else, but for now, it's solid, like really good for the early game.
Yeah. One of the problems with this game, and it kind of irks me when people say like this game is so easy, because I mean it is on the easier side, especially for speedrunning. One thing you're gonna notice is that not a lot of fights are dangerous, as opposed to like other Pokemon games. Like a lot of Pokemon games, they'll have a run killer at like 20 minutes in, and then you have another one like maybe a few minutes later, and there's probably a dozen things that can just kill your run. This game doesn't really have that, which is really nice for beginners. You do have to deal with the weird catch mechanics and like the idea behind catch routing, but fights in general aren't going to be too difficult. The one thing is, this game has a very severe level bump. Once you get about halfway through the game, you fight a boss that has level 35 Pokemon, and the next mandatory battle that you have to face has level 45 Pokemon. So it is like a significant level bump. Now, granted, we do sort of skip a few things, so it's kind of on us. But because of that level bump, we just can't realistically keep using the Eevee without being severely underleveled. Like, The Eevee has the boosted base stats to make it a little bit better. The Eevee can't evolve, so we're never going to become a Jolteon. So we don't get that boost in stats. So they gave you the boosted stats by having it be a special Eevee. But even with those boosted stats, it's just not comparable to something that's just a higher level.
Oh boy, sand.
Yeah.
There we go.
This fight right here makes me want to run Pikachu sometimes because Pikachu just one-shots.
Yeah, just one hits on turn 1.
All right. So coming up here is going to be the first big section of catching. We have to catch 50 Pokemon as we go through the game, like I mentioned. I am keeping track of it on my end. We have tracker programs that we can just click on the Pokemon's faces when we catch them, and it'll count it for us.
This is a new item.
Yeah, there's going to be a few areas where we do that. And this item is really going to help us with that.
Yeah, so most Pokemon games, you'll use repels when you're going through areas in order to not get encounters. In this game, it's actually preferable to use lures a lot of the time, which make more encounters appear. But it does more than just that. First off, here's the double ball throw. It's an excellent throw on the first ball, so hopefully this Weedle gets in. It'll be worth a lot of experience. But back to the lures, they will give a level boost to the Pokemon as well. I think it's always 1 level. So Pokemon will appear 1 level higher. You also get a lure bonus when you catch a Pokemon. By the way, look at that Pidgey getting like 3 levels. You get so much experience for these catches. But yeah, the lure bonus is really good. You want to be using one pretty much anytime you're catching. So we'll be using lures throughout the run. It is kind of a double-edged sword in a way because it makes it so you have to dodge a lot of Pokemon while you're walking through areas, which is kind of annoying, but pretty manageable. And Etiquette's pretty good at dodging, I feel like, by now.
Ooh, Pikachu's good.
Oh, that's a rare Pokemon and really good.
Yeah, and the other thing, so this Pikachu you're going to see, it's tiny. In the overworld, the Pokemon has like a swirl around it. If it's a blue swirl, it means it's tiny. If it's a red swirl, it means it's big. Doesn't matter at all. Like the Pokemon is the same regardless. The only difference is the amount of experience we get is going to change. So the last catch I did had a 6.6 times multiplier. This has a 9.8 times multiplier.
So much XP.
It's a ton of experience. Level 10 is actually what we need when we exit Viridian
The double
Forest.
kick is so good for Brock as well. Like,
yeah,
clearly a balancing choice they made. They're like, oh yeah, how should they get through with the main?
Yeah, actually, both of them learn double kick. Eevee learns it at level 10. Pikachu learns it at level 9.
Yeah. They do require you, I find this really funny, by the way, they require you to have a grass or a water type Pokemon when you enter the gym because you need something that's super effective against rock type Pokemon, and there's only 2 types that you can get in the early game, or ground type you need something super effective against, I think. But your only options are water and grass, and you can't catch any water type Pokemon in the early game, and you can only catch 2 grass type Pokemon. One of them is super rare in the forest, it's Bulbasaur, and the other one is Oddish, or Bellsprout, depending on which game you're playing. So there's the Bellsprout, so see if it goes for it. But that is required to go into Brock. You actually cannot skip Bellsprout because there's no other water or grass type Pokemon to capture. So have to catch those.
Yeah.
It's also interesting, like, go ahead, Etiquette, sorry.
No, you go for it.
I think it's interesting that since you have like mobile PC basically in this run, Etiquette will actually be depositing things he catches really often because it's slower for it to be in the party and gain levels when he doesn't need it to. So like he removed Pidgey from his party and you might be like, well, but you need Pidgeotto later. And it's like, yeah, but it'll probably be faster in the long run to just catch a Pidgeotto later.
Yeah, one of the big, like, this route we're doing right now it's changed a lot, but it was kind of set in stone the first week the game came out. One of the big first changes to the route that we had was basically the idea of catching things when they're 1 level away from evolving, or at least as close to evolving as possible. So for example, I could have gone to the left of Viridian City and got in Nidoran male, Nidoran female, and Spearow, all of which are really good. Nidoran male and Nidoran female are both 3-stage evolution, so we can get a lot of Pokemon just for 1. The problem is they come in at level like 3 and they evolve at level 16 or level 20 for Spearow. So you end up sitting there leveling up these Pokemon in like throw out all these catches in fights, and it ends up being super slow. If you just wait till later, you both get more experience for them because you're catching a level, 20 Pokemon instead of a level 3 Pokemon. But also it's just going to be faster to evolve them. So the one thing I don't have yet is a Caterpie. So we're going to sit here real quick and just respawn this area. Every time you enter and exit a room like this, you basically just despawn all the Pokemon. We might be doing this later using repels as well. It's a neat little trick. So we want to get Caterpie and Weedle because they are 3-stage evolutions that only have to go to level 10. This Caterpie has to go to level 11 because it can't evolve twice in one level, but
I do think it's like one thing that's really attractive about this run is, very rarely, it does happen, but very rarely will you be like comboed into a random wild encounter you don't want to be in. Like unintentional wild encounters, which are so common and so routed around in most Pokemon speedruns, are not as big a deal in this game.
Yeah. It's kind of you that controls the encounters because, you have to just dodge the little Pokemon sprite that's in the overworld. Whereas in
Which is
Red Blue,
something
you're walking through Mount Moon, it's like, oh no, I'm getting destroyed by encounters again. I can't deal with this.
And the only worry here, right, is that like you get trapped in between a rock and a hard place, and the only way through is like, okay, go touch the Geodude.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, in general, I much prefer, both casually and for speedrunning, the overworld encounter system.
Oh, that movement tech in those bushes, that was sick.
I would assume those are physical.
Yeah, you say the movement tech as I was like walking into the wall next to the door.
Hey, you still save time over how I would have gone to that gym.
Oh, yeah. So here's the gym requirement. We have to show him a Bellsprout. It's not just good enough that we have it in our party. We do have to actually select it. And so definitely have been times where I'll be just mashing A and show him my Eevee, and he's like, sorry, that's not a grass or water Pokemon, and kicks you out of the gym, and you have to go back in.
It could be.
Okay, that's dumb. This was always like overworld encounter, interacting with the Pokemon as it is now and in Sword and Shield was always, I feel like, a dream for a lot of us as kids, right? Like when I was a kid, all I wanted, in that encounter in Diamond and Pearl in the first lake when the Starlies actually come up to you, I thought in that moment, I was like, oh my God, is this game gonna have it? And then it didn't, and I was very upset.
Yep. All right, so this is the first gym leader. This is Brock. Not very difficult fight. If you're minus speed here, then you can actually either be 1 speed slower than the Onix or speed tie it, and it can be annoying. He has Rock Throw, which is just deals damage, and then Headbutt as well. So Headbutt can flinch. So luckily we don't have minus speed, so we can just sort of get through that. And then Brock gives us probably the best move in the game, at least for the speed run, for a TM, which is Headbutt. Headbutt is a normal type move. It is 70 power?
Yeah, it's 70 with 30% flinch chance.
Yeah, 30% flinch chance, which doesn't come up that often, but
yeah, fair.
There are some fights where we kind of do some mean stuff and force something to be slower than us and then spam Headbutt so it flinches.
Yeah, and something else to mention is there's a mechanic in Pokemon called same type attack bonus. We call it Stab. Eevee's a normal type Pokemon, Headbutt's a normal type move, which means they match, and you get a 1.5 multiplier. So this Headbutt, instead of being 70 power, is 105, which is really strong. A 100 power move, and we've done like, 4 trainer battles is like kind of silly.
Yeah. All right. Now we have some story stuff, and then we're going to do our first shop of the run. So this is a remake of Generation 1, specifically Pokemon Yellow. And so what they've done is they've basically given us a different rival. So canonically, we are not Red. We are not the main character from Generation 1, we are, I think his name is Chase.
I don't know the lore. I can't help.
I know the girl trainer's name is Elaine. That's all I remember. Yeah, I think our name is Chase, and we have a rival whose name is Trace. Great naming. And the characters from Generation 1. So like that was just Blue. That was your rival in Gen 1. He's now, a big shot trainer who is going to help us, guide us throughout the game. Still kind of a jerk, but not as jerky to us as it was in Gen 1.
That's something I feel like has been lacking from Pokemon for a while, is a rival that like you hate. Like Gen 1 kind of nailed it with the arrogant Gary / Blue. But then Gold, Silver, and Crystal knocked it out of the park with Silver.
Yeah.
Who is just an ass.
And it gets
I miss
better
that.
over time, at least. I like the character development on Silver. By the
Yeah,
way,
exactly.
this is
like there is character development.
This is, by the way, one of the funniest parts of the whole run. Yeah, don't jump that ledge. They taught you to jump the ledge to dodge a trainer at the start of the route, and then at the second part of the route, they put you in the same situation. If you jump the ledge, you fight the trainer. It's so funny to me. I absolutely
really
love that. It's just such a stupid route. But yeah, I fully get you on the rival you hate kind of deal. All the rivals are too nice nowadays.
I guess
Especially
Bead
later
is a good
zones.
example. Somebody in
Bead's
chat
pretty good.
pointed
Yeah,
out Bead.
I like Bead. Free Magikarp, well, $500 Magikarp, but free in the sense that that takes 1 second to get.
Yeah,
I feel
that
like
is.
I feel like Sun and Moon and X and Y are the perfect example of like worthless rivals.
Oh,
Yeah, and you get like 8 of them too.
Yep. Yeah, so the Magikarp there is faster than a catch, so it's worth getting. Catches are roughly 30 seconds a piece. That includes evolutions. So like if you evolve into something, it takes about 30 seconds as well. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little less, depends on the circumstances around it, but it makes running this game actually really difficult in terms of like having splits.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you have 7 Pokemon when you beat Brock, sometimes you have 4. And so like, yes, I'm a minute ahead of my PB right now, but I'm not actually a minute ahead of my PB, and you have to explain it to chat every time, and it
Yeah, I love gold splits when people are like talking about Summit Best and stuff like that on these kind of runs that have like random catching. It's like, oh yeah, my Summit Best for Eevee Let's Go is 2:36, and world record's 3 hours, and it's like, oh well, why don't you just get sub 3? It's easy.
that's actually not far off from my Summit
Yeah.
Best. I think I'm in like the 240s, but still, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah. So much faster than what's possible.
the epitome of incompatible splits.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Also, something really cool that Etiquette did was he allowed the Bellsprout to get experience in Brock's gym because it wouldn't learn any moves, so it wasn't like slower to keep it in the party. And then deposit it here. So there's gonna be a lot of that kind of routing throughout this run where it's like, okay, I can keep this Pokemon in the party for a little bit longer because I don't need the menu yet, but I need the menu like later, and I want to do my deposits then. So waited until getting the Mount Moon after getting the Magikarp because you want to get rid of the Magikarp and all that. Also, there's the Moonstone and the Clefairy, really helpful. Clefairy can be kind of a troll in this part of the run, but luckily to get it there.
Yeah, Clefairy is actually a requirement for this run.
And it jumps
Normally,
around.
normally it's a nice rare bonus. Like it's something you plan for, but it's kind of rare. So if you miss it, it's whatever. But for reasons we'll get to later, this is actually a required catch for me.
Getting a casual, excellent throw on the Pokemon jumping around on the left side. Very difficult. I'm always always shocked by how talented the throwing can be in this game. It's like actually kind of hard. And
I was just about to say that. Like, I feel like when I watch you or Etchy play this game, I'm like, I feel like people do not understand that this is a legitimate thing that you don't really practice, but you definitely get good at over time. Is like,
Oh yeah.
you take for granted even an excellent throw on your average Pokemon.
Well, and the funny thing is, So the main way, I don't know how the camera's cropped or anything. The main way that I throw the ball is I have it like up. I have the Joy-Cons in the little dog ear grip. Just because it makes it so I can throw 2 balls at the same time. So the double catching there that we do only gives us the bonus if it's a synchronized throw. So both balls have to hit the Pokemon at the same time. Otherwise, you don't get the bonus. And so I just do that to make sure both balls get there at the same time. So the way that I throw is I basically have it directly in front of my face, and then I just bring it down to horizontal, and I sort of like, I don't like smack it, but I like hit my leg with it, right? And there's actually another really consistent method that is the exact opposite motion. You start with it out, and then you just bring it back like to your face, and you just don't hit yourself. And it's funny how both of those work in basically the exact same way.
I'm waiting for a runner to find it like 3% more consistent if they do whack themselves in the face with it. So they start doing that for every throw because it's more consistent.
All right, I want a Geodude.
It's quite a few Zubats.
Yeah, Zubat we don't want to get right now.
3 Clefairies, no Geodude. That is interesting.
All right, I'll respawn the room.
Yeah. It's a bit slow, but worth respawning here to get all the encounters back.
But there it is. And it's glowing, that's good. Yeah, this is gonna give me like 3 times more experience, or not 3, 1.5 times more experience because it's glowing. There's also a small chance, it's like, we don't know the exact percentage, we think it's around 10%, that any glowing Pokemon you get is like extra big or extra small. And instead of a 1.5 times multiplier, it's a 4 times multiplier on top of all of the other multipliers you get. So there are sometimes you'll catch that Geodude, and the Geodude I just got there was 356 experience. Sometimes you get it, it's like 890, and you're like, oh, okay, this is this kind of run today.
It's really silly.
Yeah, we got all of the standard catches here. One thing that I did that I mentioned but I didn't explain was at the very start of the run, I set my clock. That was to make it so that way it was one day when I started the run, and it would be the next day by the time I left this room. And the reason is the Moonstone in the room can respawn at midnight. And if it does respawn, then I can get 2 Moonstones for the price of 1, which is really cool. So let's see if it did. It did not. All right, I'm gonna show off.
Ooh, we got new strike.
New tech.
All right. Don't mind me, just cheating.
Yeah, so you can go into the trade, the local trade, whatever you call it, like link thing, and that like forces, yeah, nice. That forces the time to be updated, so you can go and change your date and time. Because normally, if you just change your date and time while you're there, the Moonstone wouldn't respawn, but that just like forces it to, which is quite helpful.
I'm going to deposit these. So we do need to keep 2 Pokemon in my party. I'm done with my catching here in Mount Moon, but there is a double battle at the end that we have to do, so I need to have 2 Pokemon with me.
I think you keep Geodude for that normally, right?
Well, so a lot of times you'll keep Butterfree, actually. The problem is the Butterfree gains too many levels, and if Butterfree hits level 13, it literally learns 3 moves.
Oh, it gets
on
all the
same
powders.
Level. It learns all the powders. So ditching that at level 12, really good.
Yeah. That's another kind of like pain to that 10% Geodude that gives you 8,000 experience.
Oh,
you would
yeah.
definitely hit level 13. Ooh, a Meowth. That's probably rare.
You should catch that.
I wish. Meowth was the one thing I was missing yesterday. I didn't catch them all yesterday.
True. Yeah, I forgot about that.
And Meowth was the one thing I couldn't get.
There's always one.
It's nice to have a proper backup, I imagine, now for that Moonstone manip thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it was always something. What you would do is you would set your date and go in, and if it was there, cool. If not, whatever. We never planned for it to be there, but it was like, it doesn't cost us any time to just set our clock before the run. Like, yeah, we lose a couple minutes per reset, but But yeah, now there's an actual way to do that, and it's probably less important. You'll probably see it'll be a good backup for like beginners. You probably won't see top. I'm not catching that.
That's a good one.
Yeah, well,
You probably won't see like top runners doing it in any percent, but there are catch 'em all categories where this game has 3 Moonstone pickups, and there are 4 Pokemon that evolve via Moonstone. So you literally either have to get a double Moonstone at some point or catch one of them in the wild. And all of them are 1% encounters. I say that, of course, after I just saw Clefable, but I promise it was 1%.
Yeah, you get a couple chances, but it's 2% for King Nidoking because they're on the same route, right?
Yeah, they're on the same route.
Yeah, so it's like okay, but you don't want to grind the 2%.
No, and Wigglytuff is just straight up not available in the wild.
Yeah, Wigglytuff's just nowhere.
Available, ruining Unite games.
Oh, these poor trainers don't understand this Eevee. They're like running calcs and they're like, why is this thing hitting me for more than it's possible?
Shen, I love the idea that you think that trainers that are posted up in Mount Moon, like an early game area, are running calcs.
You're telling
Like
me
these-
you haven't ran calcs in the Mount Moon segment?
I'm not saying you or I, Pokemon masters. We're talking about this guy. We're talking
He's
about
literally a super nerd. That's actually
yeah, but
the trainer
he's
class.
a super nerd about like rocks. He's not in his head like, oh, crit percent, also stab. Okay,
I bet there's-
I think I only die here to crit, and then double kick. Pops
You see that
off.
journal that this person is holding? I bet there's some amazing information in there. All kinds of damage ranges.
Like, yeah, it's like
Fe-
Eevee double kick.
February 10th, I died to a low roll crit today.
Oh god. Flux the Dome Fossil, because that's the one on the right in this game. They have switched them.
I don't know why they switched them.
I don't either. It's very weird to me.
All right, so here's our double battle. Yay, Jesse and James. This fight here is
Yay, Justin James. Tell us how you really feel.
well, okay. So this fight here, not too bad. So like, it's usually a 2-turn fight, sometimes a 3-turn fight if you had bad experience. The experience threshold we tried to hit here in Mount Moon was we wanted to get Eevee to level 15 before exiting. We are almost level 16, so we are fine. However, if you're like level 14 or something here, it can easily be a longer fight. But this isn't too bad. And then as long as Geodude hits its rock throw, that's its only attacking move right now.
It's actually
Ekans goes
buffed
down.
in later gens. It used to be 65% accurate. I think it's 95 now.
Oh, the Geodude was slower than the... So I got poison gas. Darn it. Oh, wait.
Luckily,
I
only
didn't
the
get hit by it.
Geodude did. Yeah, you dodged on the Eevee. That's helpful.
Heck yeah, that is helpful. But yeah, this Jesse and James fight, not too bad. The last Jesse and James fight,
Oh,
not
yeah.
bad at all. The 2 in the middle are awful. So, I don't like them.
Yeah, they become Weezing and Arbok a little bit quickly, so the middle fights get a little bit complicated.
Yeah, the mid game in this speedrun is actually pretty brutal.
Yeah, because you skip so much like stuff to kind of rush. But not you kind of try to rush endgame in this because you can get better Pokemon in the endgame. So because you're kind of rushing the middle game, it gets pretty complicated because you're doing fights pretty underleveled. But something that does help that was used in that fight was an X attack. X items are really good in Pokemon speedrunning, especially good in Gen 7 and higher because they give you 2 stat boosts instead of 1. Normally, X items are more expensive. I think they cost like 1,000 each. In this game, they cost the normal price and give you the double boost. So
Dude,
they
that-
are
when I found that
supremely
out-
broken.
When I found that out, I was like, no way. Like, it's the Gen 1 X item prices, but the Gen 7 X item effects.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And
It's
the
really silly.
The funny thing is, I always find this funny, and I don't have any explanation as to why this was done. So in Gen 1, X attacks were $500 and X defends are $550, and in this game they're reversed. So it's not even
That's
like they just
weird.
used the old prices; they like
They
went
flipped
back
them.
down manually or something. I don't know.
Someone
Maybe
wrote
they're
the
just-
number down wrong.
they might have just been relying super hard on the info that we all kind of know to be commonplace, which is that nobody except for us
Yeah.
use it. Like, if you're not a speedrunner or a challenge runner, you like don't use X items.
Yeah, but they are very useful. Because there are 2 stages in this game instead of the 1 stage, using a single X attack will double my attack.
It's literally you're using sword stance
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
any Pokemon.
For the low price of $550, you too can use Sword Dance as your 5th move.
Ooh, good
Hey,
one shot.
Etiquette, can you tell us about what the heck was that move, Tutor? Bouncy Bubble?
Oh.
What's that?
I blinked. We have perfect coverage. What happened?
Yeah. So, in addition to giving your partner Pokemon boosted stats, they also decided to give the partner Pokemon some partner-specific boosted. What am I looking for? Potions. Okay. Partner Pokemon-specific moves, and Pikachu gets 3 of them. Pikachu gets a pretty good move here called Zippy Zap, which is electric type move, +2 priority and always critical hits. Really good.
+2 priority?
Yeah, so there's different priority tiers. So things like
Yay.
Quick Attack are in +1, Zippy Zap's in +2, so it's even faster than Quick Attack. Eevee gets 3 of them in this town, and 8 of them total. They definitely gave Eevee the better deal here. So Eevee's moves are all 90 base power. So we were talking earlier, Headbutt is 70 base power. With Stab, it becomes 105. All these moves are just base 90 for their power. And they all have a secondary effect that is going to be very useful. Fuzzy Buzz always paralyzes. Now this Starmie, even though we didn't one-shot it, is paralyzed, so it becomes slower and we can outspeed it and kill it the next turn. The fire move always burns. The water move always, or gives you, it's like absorbs, so half of the damage you dealt will be given back to you in healing, which is going to be really nice. We're not going to have to heal at all from now until, I don't know, like a half hour from now. And later on, we're going to get more moves. There's basically 1 move for every type of evolution. So the first ones here are water, fire, and electric. The ones in Celadon City are going to be psychic and dark for Espeon and Umbreon. And then the ones later on are grass, ice, and fairy. We will be using the psychic one, which is 90 base power and also puts up a light screen, which gives us more special bulk, which is really nice.
That's dumb.
Yeah,
That's
imagine
stupid.
Light Screen being a 90 power move. It's so silly.
No competitive Espeon would use anything else.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, the moves are
ridiculously
crazy
good.
good. It's insane.
And it's really funny because all of these are like 100% accurate, 90 base power. They're great moves. The Pikachu ones, so the Zippy Zap, even though it always crits, it's only 50 base power. There's like Floaty Fall, which is essentially fly, but it can flinch. And it
What
has
type is
fly's
that?
accuracy as well. Like it's 95% accurate. And then I think the last one is something surf related. And I think it paralyzes as well, but it's like they really gave Eevee way better moves.
We also didn't touch on the names of the moves, which I think is important that the people know about Batty Bad. 'Cause it's just by far the worst thing in Pokemon.
Some of them aren't bad. I don't hate Bouncy Bubble for a name.
Yeah, Bouncy Bubble's alright.
Not an awful name. Batty Bad, kinda bad.
I think Batty Bat is perfect. I think that might be the only good Pokemon move name ever. I'm not sure any other move has ever been good now that I've heard that one.
The naming scheme. Yeah, something else kind of to point out here. What's interesting between the Eevee and Pikachu runs, because again, you could play either game, and they're actually really similar as far as like speed is concerned. It's a little bit interesting that Pikachu, because it gets the electric move here, the moveset it usually uses like Headbutt, Double Kick, Thunder Shock, and like the electric move, the crit priority one. and it just doesn't really have a good way of dealing with like the Geodudes of the run and like the defensive rock types. So a lot of the time you rely on like your other Pokemon for that, but Eevee, because it gets the bouncy bubble move, is able to deal with it. Like this Sandshrew coming up is kind of a pain for Pikachu. But Eevee, it's just like, oh, let me click this move, get half my health back, and instantly win the fight. So this poor Sandshrew is just like, it's a free potion for the Eevee, but for Pikachu it's a big pain, which is really silly.
Yeah, every Oddish you see, or Gloom, and then Sandshrew and Rhyhorn. Those are the big ones that Pikachu just has creative ways of dealing with them. And we can definitely talk about that when we get there, because the Eevee way is just sort of blitz through with Eevee. But
my move's good.
yeah, but Pikachu does have to be a little bit more creative with it.
Yeah,
Pikachu
definitely.
actually has better stats. Like we mentioned earlier, the speed is better. Its attack is higher, so like there are things that Eevee isn't going to be able to one-shot that Pikachu actually would be able to with like we got rid of double kick. But if we kept double kick, there's a Pokemon later on that Pikachu uses double kick on and does just fine. We wouldn't be one-shotting it. And so Eevee is really carried by its special moves. The downside though is that's 3 extra moves we have to learn, as opposed to we learn 4 move trigger moves as the Eevee. Pikachu only learns 1, so that's like 45 seconds worth of sitting there talking to a guy that we waste over the Pikachu route. But surprisingly, the 2 games are very close together time-wise. Currently, Pikachu is the faster record, but that is a fairly recent development.
I think it's like less than a minute too. It's really close.
No, the leaderboards are separated. This was actually, I think, the first game where we decided to separate the leaderboards in Pokemon.
I think that's correct, yeah. The routes are different enough. They felt like they played like different games, especially early on, that it felt like it was worth separating them. And I think it's still good to have them as separate games because they are different.
I think it makes sense.
It's fun too because each game has its own like core group of people who are like, no, Pikachu's better, no, Eevee's better.
There's always the stands of their own game.
And it's like there's really no way to actually put together like, no, this one's actually the best.
Whichever one gets sub 3 first.
Yeah.
You guys are busy quarreling about let's go Eevee, let's go Pikachu. Nobody really understands the power of my favorite one, which is let's go Slowbro. It's just a better game. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh man.
Yeah, you start the game with Tackle, and then you get Psybeam at like level 40, so it's pretty good.
All right. Hey,
Psyduck. Oh, a little Psyduck waving. That was cute.
I know. I'm not going to catch that here. Psyduck is something that we want to be catching, but there's potential for us to catch it later at a higher level and evolve it. So I'm going to try for that. The other thing that I mentioned catch chaining, but I didn't explain really what it did. So when you catch a Pokemon, 2 things will happen. The first thing that will happen is it will increase your catch chain for that Pokemon. So if I've caught a Psyduck, I catch another Psyduck, I now have a catch chain of 2. As the catch chain grows, those rare Pokemon we were talking about earlier have a higher chance of spawning. So Bulbasaur in Viridian Forest, Chansey pretty much everywhere. Just has a higher chance of spawning. The other thing it does is it makes that particular Pokemon more likely to be seen in the wild. So you'll notice a lot of times after I catch something, that same thing shows up again and again and again as I'm looking for other stuff. It happened with the Weedle back in Viridian Forest. So if I caught a Psyduck here, the next route I'm going to also has Psyduck, but it has a lot of other stuff that I really want to catch. So I'd be sort of like, hurting myself by catching the Psyduck now and potentially only seeing Psyducks when I enter Route 6 later on.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, if you catch a Psyduck here, you'd want to catch something after the Psyduck so that you don't get screwed and you get to Route 6. Which is like a really weird concept. Something else kind of not mentioned was how sick that route movement was, including going right between 2 trainers' lines of sight.
I completely forgot that's like a trainer skip because
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
fine.
so
So
natural.
sick.
Just
It's
do it
so
again on
sick.
Route 6 or something. Maybe we'll explain it there.
All right,
Maybe.
I'll try to skip a trainer on Route 6 too.
Yeah, yeah. So you can do that. There's actually quite a few trainer skips in this game. Some of them are really, really difficult. I saw Aspect do one recently on the trainer in Victory Road, which I've never
Oh,
seen before.
is that the Rapidash one?
Yeah, with Rapidash.
Yeah, that one's so cool.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna try that one. I've never actually gotten that one.
Until today.
I finally have a save file. I had to. We'll talk about it when we get there. I finally have a save file there, and I'm able to practice. But it's so hard.
Mhm.
How much time does that save? I know we're way early on that, but
It
Probably
could
a
save
minute.
about a minute.
wow.
It's like a 4-turn fight. The one bad thing is the experience is really useful with the way like we do our rare candies right now. The experience is useful to hit a certain level threshold for Lance. And so if you skip that trainer, you don't hit 53 for Lance, and you'd have to probably rare candy another time, which is fine. Like, one extra rare candy is faster than a whole fight. But then you sort of have to like commit to doing the skip, and with the skip being as inconsistent as it is.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I always wonder if we'll find consistent setups for, because, I mean, someone might look into it a bunch, find the consistent setup, and then it becomes just kind of the norm, and we use a different experience route. But for now, it's something that you go for and adapt if it happens, but it doesn't happen very frequently.
Yeah. All right, so now that we are done with stuff in Cerulean City, the game forces you to do both the Bill quest as well as beating Misty before you can leave. That is the last time we're fighting a gym leader for like over an hour. This game, Kanto is a really cool region in that it very much doesn't lock anything behind gym leader progression, or like story progression behind gym leaders. The only exceptions are like you can't leave Pewter City without fighting Brock unless you cheat in Gen 1. And you can't progress past Cerulean City without using Cut. And in Gen 1 and Gen 3, the HMs were locked behind gym leaders. So you couldn't use Cut out of battle until you beat Misty. You can't use Fly out of battle until you beat Surge. This game has those HMs, but they're not HMs. They're secret techniques, and there's no badge requirements. So the game forces us to beat Brock, forces us to beat Misty in order to get out of their towns. But aside from that, there's no other gym leader requirement to like fight a gym leader until the final gym leader, whose requirement is to beat all the other ones. So we're gonna beeline it through all of the story progression, and then do all the gym leaders sort of at the end of the run as like a boss rush almost.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like we could fight Surge now with our level 20 Eevee, or we could wait until we're a better Pokemon that we've captured in the wild in a later area. Ooh, an Abra, that's a good one. Have to sneak up on those from behind.
Yeah, Abra has an interesting quirk in that if you approach it from the front, it will disappear on you, so you have to come at it from behind. And I just used a berry. I think, was that the first berry I used?
Yeah.
I think it is.
I think
I
so.
think, yeah.
You had changed to Great Ball earlier, but that's the only different catch mechanic you've shown.
Ooh, broke out. That's unfortunate.
That is rare.
Yeah. So unfortunately, that's gonna cost the berry. But
Yeah, so there are 3 different kinds of berries. There are 2 berries you'll see me use in the run. One of them, what it does is it gives you basically better catch rewards, so it's like kind of useless for us. The other 2 berries, there are Nanab berries, which is what I used here. Those prevent the Pokemon from moving. So because Abra just sort of moves side to side, we can stop him and then have an easier throw at him instead of having to worry about throwing at a moving target.
yeah.
The other kind is a raspberry, which is going to be the one that you see me use more often. And raspberries just make the Pokemon more likely to be caught.
Vulpix as well. That's a great find. Some Pokemon are a lot better to catch than others, Vulpix being one example. the method of evolving Vulpix is you use a Fire Stone on it, which is very quick. If you compare that to, I don't know, let's just say like Pidgey, for example, you'd have to get that to level 18, and that's going to take, 5 or 6 levels, so that would be kind of slower, given that the Fire Stone's quick to obtain. So I think there's only like one good available Fire Stone in this game, so if you were to need, or they're expensive, I think is why you can't really afford too many. But yeah, you don't want to go for things that are like too slow to evolve. There's a lot of Pokemon down there. There's a Psyduck.
This one now. Now I no longer have that catch chain worry of skipping out on Psyduck, so that way I don't ruin my catches on the next route.
Yep.
So I'll grab it. And with the way, so one of the things I'm also managing, so I mentioned that I have a program that I like click on Pokemon's faces as I catch them, and I've got all my planned catches laid out and stuff. If I'm ever in a situation where I have like an odd number of Pokemon that I'm planning on catching, so like just now I had 53 Pokemon I was planning on catching because I had a bonus. I had a couple of bonuses and it just gave me an odd number. I'm able to remove Golduck as one of my planned catches and keep me at 52. So now I still have more than I need, but I could do something like I'm just not going to catch Cubone and evolve it to Marowak.
Just
So
skip something.
Yeah, you can skip like a pair of Pokemon a lot of the time rather than a single Pokemon. Skipping a single Pokemon can be a little awkward.
Yeah. Also, I'm going to make you very, very nervous here. You ready?
Okay.
So coming up here is the trainer skip. He's going to walk between the line of sights of 2 trainers. These 2 individuals that are looking left and right here. Both have enough vision to hit you, but if you're on the halfway point of the tile, you can dodge both trainers nice and easy into Vermilion City without doing a trainer battle. An
Pokemon,
excellent...
let's go.
Let's go, dude.
Let's go.
So that is a fairly difficult skip. And the only way I'm consistent at it is by doing it in the sketchiest looking way possible. Like,
Yeah,
that doesn't look like it should
so
work.
Weird.
Can I get a Diglett, please?
This is Zubat Cave, not Diglett Cave.
Yeah, come on.
Wait, this is actually weird. Where are they?
I don't have my lore up anymore because it ran out, but...
Yeah, it should be pretty common.
So this is something you normally wouldn't do in any percent. I will spoil it. Diglett is one of the master trainers we're going to beat, so in order to do that, I need to get a Diglett.
You can't fight the Diglett Master Trainer with a different Pokemon?
Nope.
I think if
This
you
is
painted
ridiculous.
the Geodude, that might work. Yeah, it's annoying not having the lure up for this, because the lure makes a lot more Pokemon appear. There we go.
All right, don't go too far up. Don't go too far up. All right. So
Oh, that was
there's
close.
like an invisible line where you'll trigger their cutscene and get forced backwards. So I was like, please don't go too far.
Yeah, the Diglett just walked in the cutscene.
All right.
Yeah, so Diglett's a good thing to grab here. It's just good to have it earlier rather than later, because now you won't have to come back to Vermilion for it.
Yeah, I actually, this is something I timed literally today. And it is 1 second faster to get it later. But
Oh.
the difference between getting it later and now, or movement-wise, it is 1 second faster to get it later.
Right.
But
okay.
you'd have to deposit it immediately because then you're fighting level 40 Pokemon, and I don't want my level 15 Diglett to
Get a
level
ton of
up.
levels.
a lot. Yeah. So with that extra time, it's, I think, worth it to do it early.
Yeah. Because right now, I think it already has 6 Pokemon in the party, so everything he catches just goes to the PC.
Actually, I'm going to be depositing stuff, so
Oh, okay, so it just has a deposit menu coming up.
yeah.
Yeah, again, planning deposit menus ends up making it faster then, I guess.
Yeah, the one thing I didn't catch there on Route 6 that I want is a Jigglypuff.
Mhm.
Jigglypuff is nice because, so we got the 2 Moonstones, which is really cool. And I can evolve Clefairy into Clefable, so that's 1 Moonstone. I'm planning on getting both Nidorans later and evolving them as well. So that could be, you know, another Moonstone. But the Moonstone Pokemon, 3 of them learn a move on the evolution. So,
Oh,
for example,
true, yeah.
Clefairy, when you evolve it, learns Metronome. Nidoran Male, or Nidorino, when you evolve it into Nidoking, learns Thrash. So I want to try to avoid that. Wigglytuff doesn't learn anything when it evolves, so it's you know, it's just the better choice. But if I don't get a Wigglytuff, then I can't do that.
Yeah, learning moves is kind of a weird part of this run, like stuff learning moves on level up and evolution, because it takes a lot of time. It might not be something you think about all that often, but if you're learning an extra, 20 or 30 moves throughout the run, that's at least a minute, maybe even like up to 2 minutes. But definitely something you have to consider when you're planning your like evolutions and whatnot.
All right, so we should explain this.
Yeah,
I am cheating right now in this battle. So this game, the way that we've been doing the 2 controller catches is this game gives us the ability to use a support trainer. So the idea is you can play with a partner, like a physical second person, which shout out to True Co-op. Cool category. You can play with a physical second person and you can run around together and all that kind of stuff. You can also do fights together. And when that happens, the game doesn't give the opponent a double battle, but gives you a double battle. So we're going to use this a lot for both speed and for safety to essentially have one Pokemon that we're going to be using as our main Pokemon, and the other Pokemon is going to be feeding X items into it.
yeah. I like how you said for speed and for safety. Oh, you didn't use an X speed, but I think one of the older routes used to here, but you used to literally give yourself an X speed on this fight, I think.
Yeah, that's part of the brilliant things, right? Is like double battles are so good in Pokemon speedruns because it allows you free setup. Because you can, input your attack move, and since items have higher priority than a move will ever have, right? Because it doesn't have priority, it just goes first. You can X item with your second Pokemon always, and just put that on the Eevee. So even in Tate and Liza in Sapphire or Emerald or Ruby or whatever.
Not actually the case. You can't X item yourself in Gen 3.
Is that true?
That's
Gen
part of the
3
reason
can.
why that fight's so hard. Is because you can't spam X items on yourself.
Is that a speed choice change?
No, that's not even in speed choice. You just can't use
Really?
X items on your other Pokemon.
I swear I do that, but I guess not.
You're probably using them. You're probably
Just
using them.
on the Pokemon itself.
Your level 2 Zubat is getting those X attacks that you're
Let's go.
using.
Leash Life is about to be powerful.
That's
Leash
Yeah.
Life about to be so good.
No, that's good.
Yeah, and so one other thing that is worth mentioning, in Gen 8, this was changed, and it's such a good change. But prior to Generation 8, speed does not update dynamically.
Yep.
So you do not get a speed update essentially immediately. So if you use an X speed from slot, so if my Vulpix used an X speed on Eevee, it wouldn't have applied that turn. It applies the next turn. So that actually comes into play with some fights where it's like, it'd be nice to outspeed this, but if I didn't get the X speed up before, then it's just not going to happen. In Generation 8, that changed, and you can actually X speed right away, it applies the same turn. But yeah, in this game, it does not. So I'm going to do a bit of shopping here, so I'm just going to focus on the notes real quick.
Lots of nuggets to sell. Just picking up gold as he walks through the game, no big deal. And quite a few items to grab here. Need some great balls. Something we maybe didn't notice, but we could have, was throughout the run when Etiquette was throwing the 2-player Pokeballs and whatnot, he would use a Pokeball and a Great Ball. That's just because it's only the highest tier of ball that matters. So that way you're not wasting like 2 Great Balls, for example. You just need to use one of them. So you'll see kind of like mismatched ball throws a lot of the time. And then X items are as broken as we've mentioned throughout the run. And lures are very good to have for catching.
Yeah, lures are good for catching. Repels are... I'm usually never using a repel to force Pokemon not to spawn. It's mostly used to despawn Pokemon, and then I use a lure immediately after in order to basically reset an area. Every area in the game has a set number of encounters that can show up, and everything also has like a set amount of time that they will show up for. Most encounters will show up on a given area for like 2 minutes almost. So waiting for them to despawn naturally just isn't really an option.
Yeah.
But like the next area we're going to, it's a small thing of grass. We want to catch 4, sometimes 5 Pokemon there, and only 4 things can show up at a time. So if you just start getting duplicate encounters, you're just sitting there waiting for nothing. So having the repels to just clear out the area, re-lure, is worthwhile. So I didn't get a Jigglypuff. I just saw the Jigglypuff there. It's not worth running all the way back there.
Yeah,
there
just
are other
to get
places
the
Jigglypuff can
skip.
spawn.
By the way, excellent job on trainer skip on skip. Good job
Yeah,
on
the,
not hitting them on the way
reverse.
back up.
The
Yeah,
reverse skip.
the reverse.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the grass that has the Nidorans in it, and they're both really important to get, again, because they're effectively 3 Pokemon. In a similar way that Caterpie and Weedle are both good to get because they're just very easy evolutions. Also, this poor Eevee does not know. I'm a
This
higher
Eevee,
level, I'll outspeed.
Yeah. This Eevee is the Eevee that I was talking about, where Pikachu can actually one-shot this with an X attack and double kick, and we can't. We don't have X attack anymore, so it's I mean, we don't have
You
double
mean
kick
double
anymore,
kick. Yeah.
but yeah, like we don't even one-shot it with our stab headbutt. It's just
Wait, you don't okay that with double kick?
all right. I should be clear. Because we're level 20, we would have. Normally,
Oh,
you're
okay.
here like 19 and a half or so.
Gotcha, yeah, you're higher level. I was gonna say, there's no way that doesn't kill. Something weird, this is a cool little Pokemon fact. You get a damage boost on levels that end in 0, 3, 5, and 8. So at level 20, not only do you get the extra damage for being higher level than 19, but you also get a little bit of a multiplier bonus. So that actually comes into play in a lot of fights where you can try and aim to be one of those levels potentially for the fights.
I'm sorry. What?
So
Say
if you're
that,
level...
say that slower so my tiny brain can understand.
Yeah, so this is in all Pokemon games from Gen 1 to Gen 8. This is still in the game. If your level ends in 0, 3, 5, or 8, you get a small damage boost compared to any other levels. It just
On
has to do with
physical
like how
and
the rounding
special?
works. Yeah, this is just any attacking move.
What do you mean it has to do with this? Is dumb.
So,
this is
okay.
I'm mad about this.
A different way of stating it is if you have 50 attack, like your attack stat is 50,
Yeah.
and you're level 20 and level 21 and level 22, all with the same attack stat, you will do the same damage. As soon as you hit 23 with 50 attack, you will now do more.
You do more. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just has to do
Wow.
with you don't do damage just based off of like your attack stat. Your level also comes into play a little bit. And it's every 0, 3, 5, and 8 that you get that little bit of like level boost.
Why is that? Why has that not been changed to just every level it goes up?
It's a rounding thing, I think.
Yeah, it has to do with how it rounds. I'm pretty sure. I love how Krabby walks sideways. It's so cute.
Oh my god, I found out yesterday. I don't know if you were there yet, Shen, but I was doing a randomizer, and so you have Pokemon that are like walking on water, or like swimming on land and stuff.
Oh, is this
And-
the Psyduck thing?
Yeah, if Psyduck spawns in the water, it actually is like, it's not swimming, but it's like half under the water. Everything else walks on top of the water, but Psyduck walks in the water. It's really cool.
Yeah, maybe it has something to do with like they originally planned on having it in the water and then changed it. Maybe they have like a different sprite for it.
Are there any Psyduck water encounters naturally in Pokemon? I'm not sure.
Pokemon Yellow has on Route 6 Psyduck and Golduck in the water.
Well, there you go. Maybe they did intend, since this is kind of more a Yellow remake than anything.
Yeah, true. They may have planned it originally for Route 6 and then changed what the water encounters there are.
All right, so I really would like both Nidorans and a Spearow. That is very greedy. I have to get Spearow. I like cannot not get Spearow.
Yeah, Nidoran you can get later, right?
I can't get Nidoran later, but Spearow might be one of the master trainers I do.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about
I
that.
do need a Spearow. There's one Nidoran.
All right, that's helpful. Nidoran female is always good.
Yeah. One Nidoran is fine. If I don't get both, that's okay.
Yeah.
Pikachu actually would be very hard pressed to leave without Nidoran male. You can leave with Nidoran female, but Pikachu actually does a half main switch to Nidoran or Nidoking.
Yeah, they use it for a couple of fights, some of the harder ones. Mostly because rock ground type's scary.
Alright. Hey, there's the spirit.
Oh,
Cool.
nice.
This is actually a really good route so far.
Yeah.
Every single spawn I've needed. This area has 4 things that can spawn at a time, so.
Nice animation there. That's another thing that is kind of awkward about this game and like catching is the Pokemon do that little animation that causes you to not be able to catch them. There's a lot of knowledge that goes into catching these Pokemon, knowing like when they're going to do an animation and like how to adapt. And it's really cool seeing Etiquette be able to play around that because it's actually a little bit difficult.
Yeah, one of the things I think that would really push this game has already been pushed to a very high level. The current record is like 301.52 in Pikachu. But I think one thing that would really push the game potentially down to sub 3.
Nice.
I just realized I never lured, which is why.
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, that's actually
Hopefully.
bad. I should
Level
evolve
might
the
be a bit
Krabby.
awkward.
Okay. But no, I think one of the things that would really push the game down potentially to sub 3 is like really predicting Pokemon and like understanding their the odds. Like, oh, if this thing started to move left, it's like 30% to attack or something. I don't know. But like really nailing down these Pokemon behaviors in battle and potentially, YOLOing a lot of throws that you normally wouldn't do today in time, but you'd be making like an educated guess later on.
It's like in Melee when you get to the point where you're making educated predictions about whether somebody's going to tech left or tech right or something, or like tech in place.
All right. Definitely not evolving the Krabby. So normally you're supposed to lure here and everything spawns at level 24 and you can get the Krabby to evolve at level 28.
Yeah.
However,
I saw it was 18 and I was confused, and then I was like, oh, I don't know if he's lured or something. I thought that may have been part of the route.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to take the first break when you enter Rock Tunnel?
That is a perfect time for a break. Okay.
Excellent. Well, then we'll do that when you get there.
All right, yeah, we just have one quick fight, and then I'm going to pick up some Great Balls because I kind of wasted a few there, and then we'll be good.
If anyone has the copy pasta, contain yourselves.
Yeah. This is one of the few changes, like story-wise changes to the game that they made. They sort of have Team Rocket ambush you. I think one of the things I think I did notice when I was thinking about the story again recently is Team Rocket is like there at the start in Mount Moon and then is kind of present in Cerulean because like they burglarized that house. And then they're just not there until you're in Celadon, which is like forever away.
It's weird they're here. Like, this cutscene was kind of weird to me, how they just kind of threw Team Rocket here.
Yeah. Also, we paralyze the Raticate because it's faster than us, and then we spam Headbutt. Oh, wow. That usually
Team
doesn't
Rocket's in, they're in, Lavender. Right?
Yeah,
they're in
Red
Lavender
Blue?
Tower. Yeah, just weird they're here, because normally you go from, like, Cerulean, and it's, like, some peace, and then Team Rocket's terrorizing the next 2 towns.
Alright.
How's the experience going to be from not having lure up for those catches? Is it going to be a bit off, or
I should be fine.
Okay.
I had pretty good experience before that, and I'm already level 23, which is fine. I want to be like 25, almost at 26 by the time I exit Rock Tunnel. So I'm on my way. I'm gonna wait right here.
Yeah, it makes sense to wait outside because then
that way things don't start spawning.
Yep.
All right, cool. Let's pause the timer. And gamers, we're going to take a quick break here. Go stretch your legs, get some water. We'll be right back with more etiquette and more Pokemon Let's Go Eevee in just a second. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. I'm Adef, and this is Challenger Approaching. Just a few quick announcements before we get back into things. Tune in tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern for Games Done Classic, a podcast about classic GDQ moments featuring Super Mario Odyssey, and at 7 p.m. Eastern after that is That's Never Happened Before, a show about glitches and showcasing them, which will feature Spyro 1 with Dio Man. Etiquette, whenever you're ready, do a little countdown. And, yeah.
All right, let me back out of this.
Yeah, why would we pet Eevee?
I know. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
So just as a reminder to everybody, this is Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. The challenge today is Beat Red, which is a post-game content after the game is beaten. So that's what Etiquette is showing off for us today.
We have to beat the game first, so we are on our way.
I see this guy's a fellow
Slowbro.
Let's Go. He's a Let's Go Slowbro fan. Fellow Let's Go Slowbro enjoyer.
Yeah, he's actually the rival in that game, but they put him in Rock Tunnel as like the first trainer if you aren't playing the Slowpoke version.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
I've been saying Let's Go Slowbro. I meant Let's Go Slowpoke, but
Yeah,
you get the idea.
All right.
Etiquette,
Funny enough.
I have a little bit of a deal for you in the chat room if you're interested.
Oh boy.
Chat room, could you please, if you want to see Etiquette actually pet Eevee, like if that's something you are interested in, post an emote ideally that is related to Eevee if you have one.
I don't think there are any.
I've got one. Swiftaloo's got, oh gosh, what, 40? Etiquette, I'm sure, has one. Let's just see some Eevee emoticons in the chat room if you want to see it be pet. I'll do my civic duty.
That's a good emote.
Thank you. It's Eevee.
Eevee.
Eevee. It's like uwu and owo, but it's better. It's Eevee. That is actually where the emote comes from.
Chris Knife might be the best emote on Twitch.
Which one?
Chris Knife.
Yeah, Chris Knight's really good.
Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of Eevee emotes. So clearly there's a lot of excitement around
Seeing
petting
a couple
Eevee.
of yeah.
Like that is clear to me that lots of people are excited about petting Eevee. So I have a deal for you.
Okay.
Currently, twitch.tv/etiquette is at 14.2k followers. If that number reads 15k in the next 2 hours, Etiquette will pet the Eevee. That's the live deal. That's the live deal.
So many.
It's only 800 followers.
How many viewers do we have?
There are 2,500 people in the chat right now. If 1 in 3, like roughly, that aren't following you followed, then boom.
I suppose
I'm gonna post the link in chat.
that follows.
Yeah, just spam all Etiquette links. Alright, so a lot of Pokemon evolving here. Something kind of important in this segment is getting a Rhyhorn, which might seem silly, but there's certain Pokemon that you can ride on. Get it? Because they're ride on, but you can travel like on top of the Pokemon and they move faster.
Can we blacklist Shen from being on GDQ ever again? Is that acceptable? Like,
That's fine. I'm surprised I'm not blacklisted by now. Let's be real.
Do I have that power?
Are we all still allowed here?
This is a great question. How am I employed? That's the real question.
How are you still here? You brought us on.
I mean, I'm not afraid for any of us because Keyzron is still in power here, so...
Yeah, there you go. That's a good point.
Once Keyzron goes, I'll be a little bit worried about myself, but I think we're good for now.
Hotfix might be a pun positive space. Challenger
who
approaching
knows?
is a Challenger approaching is a pun negative space.
Pun negative. Okay, it does have the lure active this time. Good strategy.
Yes.
And goes for Graveler. This is a cool catch. These give a ton of XP if you catch it.
Oh, why are pineapple berries there? Yeah. This is almost the entire reason why we get it. Like, we could delay Geodude until Rock Tunnel and catch it and evolve it, but Graveler gives a ton of experience, and Geodude gives us a lot of experience early on, so
yeah,
it's really worthwhile. This is like 1,200 experience, I want to say.
Yeah, it's kind of like the experience routing. There's a lot of parts of the game where you might do something suboptimal because it gets you like levels at certain times.
This is a great question in chat. But what if I already follow etiquette? Well, the answer is to tell your friends to also do it.
You
Feel
have
weird about
parents
somebody
that have
selling out
access
for
to
me.
computers.
Did you know that if your parents actively pay about $100 a year to Jeff Bezos, you can subscribe for free to one channel? It's true.
Well, your parents can. You can't.
Well,
Unless
it's
you
on,
also
on their
pay
on their behalf.
right.
You're picking to subscribe.
Yo, mom, I'm gonna need to log on to Twitch real quick. It's that website that has the people playing the video games.
Yeah, the website you keep telling me to not go on. Yeah, that one.
Yep.
No, I'm not gonna watch Shen. I know you don't want me to do that.
I mean, that's good parenting. Let's be real.
Yeah, let's be real.
That's just solid parenting in general.
Do you want to be bullied by your favorite streamer? I recommend going to twitch.tv/shenanigans_.
It's not bullied. It's robbed. It's a very big. It's actual crimes that because I'm literally stealing money from the viewers. Like a big laundering scheme. Oh my goodness,
Alright.
this Slowpoke fan is a Kanga. I
Yeah.
always forget about
That's
that.
blasphemy. This is blasphemous.
The rival
a-
has evolved. That fake out did a lot.
I was gonna say low defense, but I mean, that's not the case. You burned this thing just because, ouch.
Yeah, you burn it so it deals less damage. It also, your headbutts are really useful through this section. We don't get another, we coincidentally, or not coincidentally, conveniently was the word I was looking for, get a free heal when Lorelei comes and saves the day back before we entered Rock Tunnel. But we don't get another one for a while. So we only have 15 headbutts to work with through this whole section.
Yeah. Something else kind of cool about burns is if you drop someone like an opposing Pokemon's stats and they critical, the critical will ignore the debuff, so it would crit as if they had not been reduced on their stats. That's not the case for burn. Burn just halves their attack, so
Is that
it's
true
actually
in
pretty
every
safe.
generation?
Yeah, that's every gen, as far as I'm aware at least. Cubone, great find. That's another just free Pokemon and could be evolved. So, as Etiquette was mentioning earlier, there's probably like 55 or something Pokemon that you planned for, and after missing Jigglypuff, getting Cubone might be a good thing because not minus a Pokemon anymore.
What is your catch count at right now, out of curiosity?
So I'm currently at 33 pokes. I have a ton of bonuses, so like I'm not
Yeah,
gonna be in a situation where I have to like sit and wait for something,
that's good.
which is really nice. I am sort of in like an awkward position regarding the Rhyhorn, because if I don't get Rhyhorn is a single Pokemon.
Yeah,
Rhyhorn evolves into Rhydon at level 42, and it's also in slow experience curve, so it's just not happening. I should have healed. I'll just cheat. Don't
Ooh.
worry.
Yeah, this is a second trainer kind of situation.
It's fine.
Yeah, that's another really nice thing about this game. It's like, oh shoot, I made a mistake. Let me just bring in my friend, and mistake is gone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool strat going with special attack. That's actually a really cool strat, dang.
Yeah, it's the way this fight normally goes is you Sizzly Slide to burn it, Sizzly Slide to kill it, and then you Bouncy Bubble this, and you get most of that health back. But I wasn't confident that I would have lived. I think
Yeah.
I would have, but just to be safe. And I want full health for the next fight. The next fight is the most dangerous fight in the first part of the run. It is a fight with a Vulpix lead, which Vulpix isn't too scary. It can burn you, but that's
Ooh,
really
I thought
the
that was
extent of what it can do. The problem is the second Pokemon is a Kadabra that outspeeds you. And so you have to tank a Psybeam and then don't get confused, basically.
Yeah, if you go into this fight low health, it's really risky.
And I don't know why I explained all that before the fight happens, just to jinx myself.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing that's scary about setting up like an X attack and then dealing with confusing moves is When you're confused and you hit yourself in confusion, it's not like set damage. You're actually just attacking yourself with a move. Good not to get confused there. So if you use an X attack, hitting yourself in confusion is going to do a lot more damage than if you hadn't set up at all. So it can be actually kind of scary if you're confused and boosting.
That's why Swagger is actually a good move.
Yeah.
Nice Kangaskhan, by the way. Oh, there's a Rhyhorn. Okay.
Okay, good,
Thank
good.
God.
There's a Rhyhorn. The Kangaskhan's, I think, 1% here, right?
Kangaskhan's a 1%. This is the only place Kangaskhan's available, and this is in the like catch-em-all kind of category. This is the first like
Run killer kind of segment.
killer kind of thing. You can be here for literally 20 minutes waiting for a Kangaskhan to spawn.
Yeah.
2-second 1% encounter this run.
Yeah, actually.
Oh, true. Yeah. Because we got the
I had the
Clefable earlier.
Clefable earlier.
Yeah, all the AOP people in chat are fuming right now.
All right. I need to get this into my party. I was not very good about party management during this section.
Yeah, it was a little bit awkward just because of, how much stuff you already have. You don't have to be like too efficient on the boxing, but it's pretty important to get the Rhyhorn in the party for the movement speed. And not just put in the party, but also going to you go in here and like hit star on it, and now you ride it when you're in the overworld. And look how fast it is for like 4 steps and fight the trainer, and then you'll see how fast it is.
Yeah. Rhyhorn is it's the only like viable ride Pokemon before like the hour 45 to 2 hour mark in the run. There are things you can ride, like you can ride Onix, you can ride Kangaskhan, but they're just not faster than walking. Rhyhorn actually kind of moves pretty quickly, so. But there are a number of runs that people have had where they have like very good pace through here, and then they just don't get a Rhyhorn. It doesn't waste that much time not getting Rhyhorn. It's like, it's not like runs over. It's usually like a 40-second time loss.
Yeah.
Which is significant if you're going for a top time, but it is something you can overcome.
Yeah, it's nice that there's a very consistent faster Pokemon to get later that you can use for like the end game. So missing Rhyhorn isn't the end of the world, but it is obviously time loss. Look how fast it is.
I will reiterate for the gamers that might just be tuning in. First of all, this is Pokemon Let's Go Eevee on Challenger approaching, but the real important thing that's happening right now that, Shen and I are just so passionate about making happen, right, Shen?
I don't know what you're about to say. I literally don't know what you're about to say.
Shen, I can't believe you wouldn't co-sign blindly what I'm about to say.
Yes,
Unreal,
I'm
dude.
so thrilled for exactly what you're about to say, and you're going to say it right now.
Twitch.tv/etiquette at 15K follows. Currently at 14.3. We're already a hundo up. At 15K follows, Etiquette will be petting an Eevee live on stream. And you know what? He's going to do it for a full 30 seconds. He's just going to pet the Eevee for 30 seconds. And
That's
he
a
doesn't
lot of
even...
pets.
Go ahead.
Well, that's it.
I saw
That's
him
the whole
reaching
thing.
on the webcam. I wonder what was picked up in that.
Oh, is it a
That's sliding
physical...
off screen.
Is
And
it
if
a
you guys
physical
don't do
entity?
it, the Eevee gets it.
Oh my god.
Oh, scary.
Oh my god. Alright, sick. I'll be periodically posting his link in the chat. Also, just like the bottom line is if you are enjoying the run, it's the least you can do. It's free to follow, and Etiquette streams lots of Pokemon speedruns on his channel, and it's a good time.
This fight's actually fairly interesting. So it's one of the few fights where we use both Pokemon in the battle. Normally, when we do a 2-controller battle, we just use one to feed X items to the other one. In this one, if the Raichu has a chance of coming out either second or third, and if it comes out second, you have to use Drill Run from the Rhyhorn. So it's kind of a neat little optimization there. The Pokemon that any trainer sends out is based on who they think does the best against your Pokemon. And because we have both Eevee and Rhyhorn out, he thinks that
Raichu does best against Eevee, but Gloom does best against Rhyhorn. So it's just a 50-50 shot which one he picks. All right. Another side note, in Gen 1 and the Fire Red Leaf Green, the remakes, you don't have to come here right now. You actually would go straight to Celadon City, do Hideout, or skip Hideout in Gen 1, and then come back here. But the game actually requires you to see this little cutscene before the rest of the story progresses. So it's kind of like it's a little handholdy, but at the same time, it's not that big of a deal.
Here's a question in chat. Does this game require all these captures for the challenge to just beat Red?
Indirectly. So
Yeah.
in order to beat Red, you have to beat the game. In order to beat the game, you have to have 50 catches. Every gym has a requirement to enter it. Brock's gym is you have to have a water or grass type Pokemon. Misty's gym, we didn't talk about it, is to have a level 15 Pokemon. Koga's gym is to catch 50 Pokemon. So you do have to have 50 Pokemon to beat the game. And then by extension, once you beat the game, you have the chance to unlock Red and then beat Red. So.
All right, let's be honest. There is a gym that doesn't have a requirement, sort of.
Yeah.
Because every Pokemon is cute.
Every Pokemon is, in fact.
All right, I love this fight. Everyone, please be excited for this fight.
No, I hate
This is
fight.
completely unavoidable. There's a chance of metronome, and it's so exciting. Come on.
We do use
Entertain
headbutt
us.
and hopefully get a flinch.
No flinch.
We got the flinch.
Come on.
Shen was so desperate for the metronome fissure.
It's so much more exciting when you get metronome.
I've had some bad ones where it's like lovely kiss into roar. And it's just, sometimes
good.
it's just bad.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever been hit by a one-hit KO move on that. I've seen other people get hit by it. I've
Okay,
seen
so
it used against
Oko
me.
moves are in the pool in this game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I've been horn drilled, but it missed.
My favorite of all time was I lost a Pokemon Gold speedrun on Whitney. I got turn 1 metronome Sunny Day, then double slapped, then turn 3 metronome Solar Beam critical, and I
No
died.
way, dude. The combo.
I just died.
Isn't it
from pool.
true, like, 1 over how many moves there are to get any one move?
Another 1%
Yeah.
encounter.
Wait, is that Kadabra?
It's another 1%, and I didn't get a Jigglypuff.
That's so silly. Yeah, it's completely the same rate for every single thing.
That's really incredible that you got Sunny Day and then Solar Beam.
Yeah, the metronome in speedruns is chat's favorite thing. It's so
It
fun.
really is.
It can be literally anything.
We had a runner. There's a similar fight in Sword and Shield where there's a Clefairy, who just spam metronome, and we had a runner who got hit by what's the move? It's like Zekrom's special move, but it was like after the update that introduced those moves to the game. Like it wasn't a move that was there originally. And it was like one of the updates that introduced all the legendaries, added the move, and he got hit by it. And it was like, what is this?
What is
That's
that
so
electric
funny.
type move called? What is that?
Fusion Bolt?
Fusion Bolt,
that
that's
it?
what it is. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
I've seen some fun
Reshiram's Flash Flame or something?
It's Fusion Flare and Fusion Bolt, I think.
Never mind.
I'm not positive though, because I think there's 3 moves, but I might be thinking wrong.
Ooh, that's bad.
By the way, big level boost here. This thing is level 29. Again, we're kind of rushing the plot here. And because the plot's getting rushed, the fights are actually going to get pretty difficult in this segment. And this is definitely one of those fights. Predicate's a big threat. And another thing that two things actually that we did in that Pokemon Center. The first was taught the Psychic type light screen that we were talking about earlier. So that's just a really good move for boosting Special Bulk. And the second thing was like the Fortune Teller. Not really sure what the NPC's called.
Madame Celadon is her name.
Yeah, so she lets you effectively pick the nature of all of the wild Pokemon that you'll be catching for the rest of the run. So Etiquette went ahead and set that nature to, is this still Modest that you choose?
Yeah, still Modest.
Yeah, so it's Modest nature for every other catch. So that will be very useful for some of the Pokemon getting captured later in the run, because you know the nature, so there's not that extra random element, so you can route around the natures, and having special attack boosts in general is a good thing.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that like the Eevee, you know, your starter always has the same IVs, and it's the nature is what you're resetting over.
Mm-hmm.
But then later on we catch something and it's like we always have the same nature, but it's the IVs that are different. And
Yes,
so it adds a
pain.
little bit of a quirk to, you know, routing and stuff of that nature. Pun intended.
Yeah.
Another Psybeam fight.
Yeah, another Psybeam while using X attacks. Alright, got hit by the Hypnosis. No flinch either, it's kind of annoying. Wasted your flinch on that Clefairy.
No kidding.
Alright, no Confused, so that should be GG for this fight. Always scary, though.
And yeah, somebody in chat just mentioned this as well. So another reason why setting our clock at the beginning of the run is really nice is because Madame Celadon's effect, having the set nature, only applies until the end of that day. And so
yeah.
it uses the switch's date time to figure out when the end of the day is. And so by setting our clock such that the day ticks over like at the start of the run, we don't have to worry about it ticking over in between now and when we catch the stuff that we need to.
Yeah, if you forget to set your time at the start of the run, there have been people who've lost runs because they get to the Starmie later and they're like, why can't I Oko anything? And then they look at their nature and it's random because their day rolled over in the middle of the run. I've seen that happen to a couple people.
Getting
Yeah, you're getting
bullied by
destroyed by these Rattatas.
Well, it's unfortunate because they all have Super Fang, which just it doesn't matter. It does
Yeah.
have health, so
Yeah, it's always scary with like Super Fang in play because like you don't want to heal, but you also can't be too low, so it's an annoying situation. Nice to get screeched there by Voltorb. That could have probably been annoying.
all right. So, a nice level threshold to hit is 28 before not this fight, but the fight after it. So I don't know if Grimer's gonna give me enough experience here. I think it will, but
Looks close.
it looks really close. Next fight is there's 3 fights back to back that are all in their own way kind of brutal. So we'll just see how that goes. But this is gonna be the first case of us using Glitzy Glow. 90 base power sets up light screen. I got hardened, so it doesn't matter. We use that light screen effect on a couple of fights, so it is a very, very useful move. And I did not hit 28.
You should have stolen his Pokemon. If you captured it, you would have gotten the level.
Yeah, no, I would have gained like 3.
If you like 30 already. Alright, this is probably one of the more fun cutscenes of this game. This is just Pokemon, you know, not understanding their audience of, you know, children, but what object should we use to get up to this vent?
I'm gonna guess.
The desk, the boxes.
I'm gonna grab a box.
Yeah,
Oh,
grab
it's
a
too
box.
heavy. I can't lift it.
Unfortunate.
That one's too heavy too. What about that? Oh, we can use this rolling chair.
Oh, the
this
rolly
that
chair.
has wheels on the bottom.
Oh,
on this
yeah,
concrete
easy
floor.
to push over on this concrete floor. Very smart.
Wait,
Let's go ahead and
okay.
stand on that.
If I can use the swivel chair to get up here, maybe I can do that in the kitchen to get the food items my parents don't want me to get.
There should be like a
Hang on.
3% chance that your character like falls down and you have to start over. Ow, I
Do
hurt
you want
myself.
that, Shen? You want that?
I think it would provide a real life example to the children that it is dangerous to use rolly chairs to
Yeah.
Put
you know,
your-
that level of physical realism that Pokemon is so famous for.
Yes, exactly.
The first time I played this, I was legitimately stuck there for like 2 minutes. I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to pick
Same.
because I just didn't try the chair. Because why would I try?
It just
the chair?
it seems like just the wrong answer. I thought that you needed like a ladder item or something. I think I left here and like went around Celadon looking for a ladder.
Well, yeah, it's also like, in every Pokemon game before this, physical obstacles are always solved via HM or special moves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
never have you ever had to use the physical environment without a move. Or like a lift key.
Yeah, these are pretty slow in this game still. In Gen 1, they are 1/4 walking speed. It's
Yep.
so painful, but this is actually
Gen
like,
3
not
is
too bad.
Gen 3 is the spice here.
Gen 3 is so fast.
Yeah, true. You spin so fast in Fire
These,
Red.
so believe it or not, these are actually almost the same as walking speed. I think they're slightly slower, but they're almost the same as this like same running speed here. Because I actually tested, there's 2 ways to get through that puzzle. One of them takes more spinner tiles than the other one. And I tested basically both of them, and they're about the same amount of time, so it's kind of funny.
That's interesting.
Okay.
Put in
just
Clefairy
gonna-
into slot 2.
Would use Jigglypuff, but don't have it.
Yeah, so this is a situation where it's helpful to have a fairy type Pokemon because of using like trainer AI manipulation. So for this fight, it's a forced double battle with 2 strong poison type Pokemon. We've got Weezing Arbok. And because the Clefairy's fairy type, they're going to target it with their poison moves instead of attacking the Eevee, so you can get a free turn of setup here. It is very important.
Yeah, and there is a very particular reason why you like to use Jigglypuff instead of Clefairy. And we might see it. We did not. Okay.
Okay. that's
So
good.
the reason is because there's a hidden mechanic in these games called friendship. And friendship is going to be coming into play for us actually pretty soon on the Eevee. But it allows you to do certain things like you... whoops. Flustered. You can like shake off status effects, or you can live on 1 HP. And that can be really nice. Like if you got critical hit when you weren't expecting it, you could like live on 1 and still continue the fight. That has absolutely saved world records before. Same thing with things like, shaking off a status condition. Like, oh no, I got paralyzed here. Oh wait, no, just kidding. I'm now fine. Clefairy starts with more friendship than the average Pokemon. Normally, Pokemon start with 70 friendship. Clefairy starts with 140. Once you get over 128 friendship, you can start living on 1 and shaking off status effects. So Clefairy actually has a chance to live that hit and waste time because it starts gaining experience because you start defeating Pokemon with it in battle.
It's also kind of interesting. In most games, friendship and affection, because affection is normally the stat that allows you to like do the BS, like surviving on 1 HP and getting boosted experience and whatnot. They're usually different stats and they're gained different ways, but there's no Pokemon to me in Let's Go, so they just kind of combine them as one stat, which is interesting.
Yeah. And a really nice thing about friendship is, it boosts your stats. So it's like a little bit, it's like 1% every so many friendship levels, but it's really nice. So this fight is historically one of the worst fights in the run. This is a fight that was added in this game that wasn't in the originals. And yeah, it's actually fine that Rhyhorn got hit.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't need to heal that. That was dumb. But so we didn't always allow 2-controller. When the game first came out, we heard about 2-controller, and the community was like, "This seems way overpowered. It doesn't seem fun for speedruns." We didn't understand it basically.
Yeah.
So we put 2-controller in one category, and 1-controller was the main category. And this fight here was horrific for both Eevee and for Pikachu. The Weezing is super tanky. The Golbat is fast and hits hard, and it didn't matter. This fight was just horrible. It was, you used to have to pick up a random item that is a hyper potion on the ground because you don't have access to hyper potions yet in the shop, and it just wasn't fun. We allowed 2 controllers, and it's basically a free fight.
Yeah.
There's a fight later on that's the same way. So
Yeah, there's a couple fights that are like that. But yeah, that one, I think it was a lot worse for Pikachu too, if I remember correctly. Just because you get destroyed by the Weezing. Something to mention, I don't know if we said this yet, there's no abilities in this game, right?
There are no abilities.
Yeah, so you could hit Weezing with the ground type moves as well. That's something to kind of keep in mind. You don't have to worry about like static and that kind of stuff. There's no abilities in this game, so there's probably been some people like, wow, he hasn't been static yet, or whatnot.
This is my favorite fight strategy.
Yeah, just get rid of the Persian. This is the Persian removal operation.
Boom.
Goodbye.
Nice.
That actually can be a range depending on your Graveler, but usually worth it.
Yeah.
It has like compounding effects because it means like you don't have to worry about buying X speeds early because you don't outspeed that Persian. There's actually even a chance if you have minus speed that you don't outspeed it with your speed doubled from an X speed. Like that's how fast that thing is.
Yeah, it's higher level and it's just a fast Pokemon in general.
Yeah, so the Graveler strat is absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to worry about your health because you use Bouncy Bubble there and heal up to full. You don't have to worry about your stats to take out the Persian.
Mm-hmm. It's also nice because it's always going to fake out anyway in turn 1, so you can just set up for free with the Graveler. So you just get the free +2 self-destruct. Does a ton of damage. Because with Eevee, you just get fake out for like a third of your health. It just hurts.
All right. This is a bit overkill, but I'm going to grab the extra Ultra Balls here. We have 34 Pokemon at this point in the run. Oh, wait. I skipped something that I wasn't supposed to. Not skip something.
It was Kingler, I think. You swapped Kingler, which you wouldn't normally do.
Yeah, I swapped Kingler and I was gonna do Marowak, and then I ended up not evolving Marowak. So I just need to put the Cubone back in my party.
Put the Cubone back in the party. That'll work. Yeah. So because you didn't lure, the Graveler came at level 18 and it evolves at 28. Normally you would evolve the Krabby and not evolve the Cubone in that situation, but he lured for the Cubone, which meant it came at level, I think, 24.
Yeah.
So he just gets an extra 6 levels compared to the Krabby, so it's worth switching over the Marowak. So it's one of those like little quick routing decisions you have to make. Wait,
yeah.
All the way over here for a singular, I think it's a rare candy. Yeah.
Yeah. We're grabbing a bunch of rare candies that you normally don't grab in like a normal any % run, but we would like to because some of the post game stuff. What am I doing? I want to repel. I don't actually want to gas them. I'm actually not going to be catching anything else that is optional.
Yep.
Everything else that I'm catching has a purpose in the room, which is kind of fun. That never happens at this point. A lot of times in normal any %, you're sitting here like, I even need to get Coughing and Tentacool, and maybe I have to get Magmar. And because of the way that this category works regarding like all of the required catches, things I have to get in order to do the post game stuff, you just don't even have to worry about your catch count most of the time. Oh yeah, we just got Skydash, which is essentially Fly. In Gen 1, you wouldn't be able to use Fly until you beat Surge, but this game doesn't care.
Yeah, you can just use any HM. Surf is the same. We'll be surfing without doing any gyms. That would actually be really bad if you couldn't surf before doing Koga. Yeah. Because Koga is normally how you get surf. That would be really hard.
Awful.
Yeah, now we have the Sylph Scope and all the ghosts will appear, except they won't because we are using Repulse.
All right, there's a 50-50 chance that this movement looks really cool. It does not look cool. if she spins to the left, so we've skipped a couple trainers. One of them we skipped, or two of the trainers we skipped because they're facing each other and we walked in between their vision. Another two of them, they're like facing like this, but they're offset. And this game is like tile based, but not. Yeah. We have free flowing movement, but everything is tile based, right? And so what's the best way to describe it? So the trainer's vision is extremely narrow. You basically, in order to be seen by the trainer, you have to cross like the midpoint of their vision. I'll try to show it on the next mandatory trainer.
Are you gonna try and tell me that a tile can be a half?
Yeah, it's like
Much like an A press, right?
Yeah, wait,
Yeah.
how can an A press not be just an A press?
oh no, we're not doing this.
How can a tile be a half?
But like look at how close I was able to
Yeah.
get to her before she saw me. And so we can skip a bunch of trainers. I say a bunch, just like 4. Just by abusing that little bit of space between the center of the tile where they see you and where you're allowed to walk. So that spinner on that floor, if they decide to turn left, still can't see us as long as we're hugging the bottom wall because there's enough space for us to run. The
Did you know a
next area we
tile
go
actually
to
has
is perfect.
3 parts?
Sort of.
Oh my god, are you gonna try this? Go
No,
ahead.
I'm not.
Now I want to hear
I'm
what
not.
3 parts.
I'm
What
not.
3 parts are on a tile?
Yeah, there's the part that's the first third, and then there's the part that's the middle third, and then there's the part that's the last third.
Now wait. So, but couldn't you also have like? So you're talking vertical thirds, right? Are there horizontal thirds?
Oh, see, I was thinking horizontal thirds.
Oh, but are there vertical thirds then?
So maybe there are 9 parts to a tile.
Oh, that's interesting. Are there diagonal thirds?
Oh my god, wow.
Hate this conversation.
Well, if there are horizontal thirds and vertical thirds, there must by definition be diagonal thirds, implicitly, but still 9.
Oh yeah, that's true. There would be diagonal thirds, but they're the same.
Anyway, Etiquette, how's your speed run?
It's going great.
We've
Awesome.
got this fight now.
Yeah, so we fought Jesse and James at like the 30-minute mark. We waited an hour before we fought them again, and now we've waited approximately 10 minutes. And we're gonna fight them again. This
And
fight is
they're
identical to the last time. So, just quickly look over my notes. Have I forgotten to do anything other than the Marowak stuff? I have.
Look how much
Okay.
stronger their team's gotten. Same level. They
Yeah,
really
I
are.
think, I think it's 2 levels higher.
Oh, are they? I thought they were like actually the same. Oh yeah, I think they're like
it's-
31 or something in the other spot.
Alright.
Yeah, you might notice a very similar team composition here. Nice.
Oracle Fairy.
Did not
Yeah.
survive on 1 HP.
Yeah, the one difference here, there's 2 differences. The Wheezing has upgraded to Sludge Bomb instead of Sludge, meaning it does more damage. And it also has Dark Pulse, so you have to be worried about what comes out next to you. If you caught, normally we try to catch like a Graveler, a Ghastly in Pokemon Tower, and if Ghastly is what we send out next to us, it just dies to Dark Pulse, so we just want to avoid that. Send out the Rhyhorn because it resists the poison.
Hey, Shen,
Yeah.
you know what doesn't have 9 parts, or even 3 parts?
What?
It only has 1 part. Following
part.
Etiquette on Twitch only has 1 part. The following part. That's it.
So you're saying there's not half followers?
Oh my god.
No, you're either a full-fledged fan or you're a fake fan.
Actually, no, there are 2 parts, but if you're a subscriber, you're a double follower.
Whatever makes this bit happen for you, Shen.
Does anyone have good etiquette emotes? Spam etiquette emotes in chat.
This is so weird.
You can follow from emotes now, right? I think you can just click on the emote and
Wait,
follow the
can you
channel.
really?
Yeah,
Can you
just
really?
spam. Everyone spam etiquette emotes, and then just like, if you aren't followed, just click on your favorite etiquette emote, and then click the heart. That's
a really good feature.
That just tells you that you like the emote. So everyone spams some emotes, and if you like the emote, click on it and hit the heart button. leave a like on his emotes.
That's also good, like, people can subscribe to you right from there.
I think they can.
Yeah, they can.
If anyone wants to subscribe, if
All
anyone
right.
really likes the emote, you can directly subscribe. Oh, did you really have Eevee Keck as a spin?
Yeah.
All right, I'll do the same.
Yes.
I'll add mine.
All right. Route deviation from any percent. We're going in here. All right, so we're going to be in here for two things. One of them is completely optional, but I figure it's a good enough time and I have the money for it. So
That is rare to take an elevator in a speed run.
yeah, we're trying to get to the roof. We need to
Yeah.
get ice beam and rock slide. No,
A little bit worse TMs in this game.
yeah, it's the TMs here are actually very unuseful for speedrunning normally, but for this category in particular, they're very nice. We get either protect, which is what we're getting here, reflect or light screen. I don't need reflect and light screen, but protect is going to be nice. Then we're going to head back down a couple floors, and this is just a small little thing that is worth doing. We're going to buy a Firestone,
Oh, they're so expensive in this game. Oh my
a
God.
Thunderstone.
You got
Took me a
Pikachu,
second. And a Waterstone. That way I don't have to pick up the one for something later. And we even have money for another stone if we wanted to, but we don't need it.
You have to be careful you don't get like too many stone Pokemon, but it's pretty rare that happens.
Oops. Going out the left side there was slower. That was a mistake. Whatever. Doesn't matter. All right. So now that we have the Pokeflute, the entire game has opened up to us. There is a challenge in this game. Actually, in all Pokemon games.
Challenge.
It is a challenge. It's a little bit too long for this, for the show, called the Professor Oak's Challenge. And the idea behind the challenge is that before every gym, you have to catch every Pokemon that is available to get before that gym. And that includes things like evolving. So, for example, Bellsprout is available before Brock. So I'd have to get Bellsprout and evolve it to Weeping Bell. It's a huge grind fest. It's a very long thing. I've done it before. It's like 7 or 8 hours.
This is the most reasonable game to do it in by far, though.
Oh,
Compared to
absolutely.
like any other Pokemon run.
And the reason I mention it is because we're gonna pause that explanation real quick. This is another
skip.
trainer skip. We just
love
walk
this
under
one.
his vision, and that's it. It's not wide enough for
Yeah.
it to see us.
What's really cool about that one is Etiquette went behind that Pokeball to force the character off the Rhyhorn. Because you can't do the trainer skip if you're on the Rhyhorn. So you get behind the Pokeball, which dismounts you. And then you can do the trainer skip, and then it puts you right back on the Rhyhorn when you can. Did you get those good to get?
Yeah, everything here is level 39, so this is going to evolve in one level.
Yep, so this gets Pidgeotto and Pidgeot. So if you're wondering why we didn't evolve Pidgey earlier, now you know.
But yeah, so Professor Oak Challenge, before the first badge, you can get 24 Pokemon. A good amount of the Pokedex, you know. Before the second badge, you can get 52. That's like a third of the dex, right? Before the third badge, before you get 3 badges, you can have 127 Pokemon. There are 8 Pokemon that you can't get before the third badge. Because there's only 135 available
though.
in each game.
So you're basically done after Surge in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and the Pokemon left are like pretty quick too. I don't think any of them take more than like a minute to get.
Yeah, the only areas in the game that we can't get to are Victory Road, Route 23, like the
Champion's
grass. That's-
Cave.
Yeah, the Cerulean Cave, and that's it. It's like literally 3 areas are the only places we can't get to. So we really have access to the entire game at this point. And it's because once we get Pokeflute, I didn't need to switch balls. I already did that. Once we get the Pokeflute, we gain access to Fuchsia City. Once we're in Fuchsia City, we gain access to Sea Skim, which is Surf. And that just, we can get to Cinnabar Island, we can get to Seafoam Islands, we can get to the power plant if we want to. We're not going to like any of those places, but
Yeah, it really unlocks the whole game when you get Surf.
all All right, and I need to get the Doduo into my party. Machop evolving here is perfect.
Yeah, it's actually perfect timing.
Cubone's gonna lag a little bit behind in terms of evolving. It'll evolve in time. It's just I did not, because I forgot about the thing.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, I can't math. It was 48 plus 3, not 48 plus 2. Okay.
You can skip Pidgeot, I guess.
I need Pidgeot. I'm just gonna skip the Marowak.
Oh,
Again.
right, yeah. You do need Pidgeot.
I'm gonna get to Koga and I'm gonna have 49, and I'm just gonna be so mad.
Yeah.
Like I'm still gonna have missed something.
Yeah, 49 at Koga is a good meme. Yeah, you need Doduo in the party, though. And
keep that
goodbye,
for now.
Eevee.
Yep. Eevee is no longer with us.
Oh my god. So tragic.
And we need one more poke.
Yeah, there's
Well,
one specific
Eevee's still-
fire horse we're looking for.
Eevee's still riding on the hat.
Yeah, Eevee stays in the party. Not, like, used in battle, but it does still get to travel alongside you.
Wow. This happens sometimes, but usually I'm on world record pace. Not on this kind of a
Not
run.
on, yeah, not on the marathon run.
All right, that's the
Wrong
wrong one.
You know, if you get Marowak and you catch that, you're fine, right?
All right, here's this. I was actually about to go grab it.
it would
All right,
be a
get
kind of
out
hype
of
strat.
the Pidgeotto. There we go.
Something else that isn't, but it doesn't matter. So with the lure, it doesn't matter that he got the encounter after the lure ended. It just matters that the Pokemon appeared while the lure was active. So when the Ponyta spawned in the overworld, it was level 39. You need to make sure the Ponyta is level 39 because you're going to evolve it into Rapidash, which evolves at 40. So even though the lure ended, it was still fine because got the spawn while it was at the correct level and doesn't need the lure anymore, so it didn't want to waste one.
All right, and then I'm gonna use one rare candy on it. Let's go here. Ponyta on the party.
It is actually worth using one of the rare candies on this because, like we mentioned earlier with the ride Pokemon, they have different speeds. Rapidash is the fastest in the game, right?
Yeah, there's like there's different tiers, and it's part of the fastest tier. There are like 5 or 6 Pokemon in the tier.
Yeah, it's like Aerodactyl, Arcanine, Rapidash. There's a bunch of Pokemon that are in the fastest tier. So you want to get one of those as soon as you can. It's effectively the bike of this game.
Yeah.
Rhyhorn's like the running shoes, and then Rapidash is like the bike. You get just the progressively faster movement. And of course it learns to move, because everything does. And look at the blistering speed on that horse.
It
so
really
much
is
faster.
quite an improvement.
Yeah.
Also, those trainers like can't see.
Yeah, I thought that you were gonna hit one of them.
They can see you. They will walk one step. If you're more
geez.
than one step away, they won't see you.
Mm-hmm.
This is like the longest loading screen in the game. It's like 5 seconds.
Yeah, probably because that's to load all of Fuchsia.
Oh, let's
Yeah,
go
there's a
this
lot in
cutscene.
Fuchsia.
Let's go. Everybody's favorite cutscene.
Dude, the
Because
Tauros
it's
is
Let's
so
Go
mean.
Slowpoke time, baby.
I love this cutscene in Let's Go Slowpoke. It's just so much cuter with the 2 Slowpokes.
Yeah, it's also twice as long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they have to walk toward each other. It takes forever.
Just
Yeah.
imagine this with a Slowpoke walking everywhere.
Yeah, it'd be
There's
really
a 10% chance he falls asleep in the cutscene and you have to sit there till he wakes up.
Mm-hmm.
Tauros is such a bully. Look at him.
Yeah, cutscene. If we could skip all the cutscenes, it would save like 5 minutes in Eevee and Let's Go, but it would save like an hour 45 in Let's Go Slowpoke.
Yeah, exactly. That's why nobody runs it except for me. I'm just so proud of it.
I do like the movie here. It's cool they fit like a feature-length film inside of a single cutscene.
Yeah, it's really cool, and there's no text or voice lines or anything. It's just a
Yeah.
silent film.
Just watching it walk along.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
All right. Yeah, no Safari Zone in this game. Instead, there's like Go Park, but they give you the surf technique here. And now we are off to get our new main. We really have to make sure we are lured for this section. Not so much for the like it's not like we're evolving something in a single level. It's more like we just need our main Pokemon to be a high level. So
Do lures
having a
improve
consistent level is
IVs
nice.
as well? They do, right?
What was that again?
Do lures improve the IVs on Pokemon?
No, or at least I don't think so.
Oh, that was quick. Oh, there's a Wiggly too. Plus Thron.
All right. So we're gonna have a slight indication. 1062 is not bad. So I'm looking at the number at the top right of the screen. It says CP, stands for I think combat points.
I think it's potential, but yeah.
Combat potential, yeah.
It's some weird thing. It's from Let's
It's
Go.
a really weird formula that uses its actual stats and stuff like that. Bizarre. But Staryu can have anywhere, or level 43 Staryu can have anywhere from 960 to 1160. So having 1060 is average. You know, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's like exactly average. It just
And that's
tells
the
you
only
your
thing I need.
stats. So, like, the higher the combat potential, the more likely it is that you have, like, perfect special attack and perfect speed. So, you don't want to take a bad one because then you know that you're getting bad stats. If you find one that's at 1160, it's, like, going to be a perfect Staryu.
Yeah. Other thing I did, I skipped over the. Oh no, I forgot to do something. Hold on. I didn't grab the water stone on that route because I bought one earlier. I also want to get the old amber.
Oh, right, because you need both fossils.
Not something you normally do, so
Yeah.
I just.
It actually only
Completely
costs
forgot.
that one little fly menu because would have had to fly here and get the old amber first anyway.
Normally we don't get the fossils. You can actually sell the fossils. So the one that we pick up in Mount Moon, we would sell for $3,500 and not pick up one of the nuggets I did. But for this, it's good to pick up the fossils. It's just a little bit too slow. It's honestly, it's kind of worth it to get 2 fossils if the old amber was like something you just picked up. You didn't have to
Yeah.
go somewhere special for it. It would probably be worth it to get 2 of the fossils, but
It kind
Just
of comes
not.
back to, like, it's one of those things with every catch is about 30 seconds, and this takes more than 30 seconds if you're just doing it for the one Pokemon. But if you're doing it for 2, it brings the average down to maybe like 25 seconds, and then it becomes faster. But getting the amber takes time. So it's like this big math equation of like what's optimal. And sometimes it's worth getting the old amber because you're like so far behind on Pokemon.
yeah.
Second fun fact, Kabuto used to be actually used in the speedrun over the Starmie. Back in the early days of Let's Go, Kabutops was actually the quote-unquote main Pokemon that we used.
Yeah, it can still put up a good time. I think the current Kabuto best time is like it's under 3 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty
So
close.
it's within maybe like 5 or 6 minutes. And it hasn't had nearly the same optimization that the Starmie route has, so
Yeah,
there's a potential it wouldn't be faster, but it doesn't have to be
you can put
you
up
know,
a fight.
that many minutes. All right.
And into the mansion.
Yeah, so this is usually where we're doing the last of our catches. I'm done with my catches, which is really nice. We got lucky with some of our spawns and everything, so last ditch effort here would be for things like coughing, wheezing. Magmar is like a super last ditch effort because Magmar is
sounds awful.
not fun to catch. Ditto, you just wouldn't plan on catching.
Yeah, some Pokemon are way harder to catch than others. Raticate
Rattata?
sometimes actually is something you catch. Try to Eradicate here. It took you this long to get them.
Yeah. It's one of those things like it's available on so many earlier routes, but you would never wait for it on the early routes. You would probably just, get it here.
Yeah, so a rare run might not get Rattata until this late.
All right,
This is a
so I'm
cool
gonna do
strat.
Bit of party management here. So I'm gonna posit this. I'm gonna play it safe and no, do that. I should have done this menu. So we're gonna rare candy Staryu a couple times. Staryu comes in. Wow, those are actually decent stats. Okay. Staryu comes in at 2 levels away from 45 where it learns Hydro Pump, which normally we would learn. I am not going to learn because of some of the Beat Red specific strats. Hydro Pump is 80% accurate, and it's a bit more powerful than the other water move we're going to be using, Scald. But I'm just going to opt to use a couple of extra X items in the places where I would be using Hydro Pump. Not a big deal.
I think Starmie's entrance animation and idle animations are so pleasing.
Yeah, the spinning.
Like,
Right,
the spinning and the slight sway, I think, is really cool.
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree with that.
Yeah, so my special attack is not perfect, but it's on the high side. And then my speed is actually very high. So this is a really good Starmie.
I thought you were gonna do the strat where you walk the other player in front of the NPC.
It's like half a second slower.
Oh, I thought that was faster. It's actually
I thought
slower.
it was too. I must have mistimed it originally.
That's really funny. I think it lied to me.
But yeah, this, before we allowed 2 controller, this was the hardest fight in the game. Scientist Ted just destroys you. He does not one-shot the Starmie, but does a lot and outspeeds us, so it's pretty bad. And then, so we put something that is weak to electric in slot 2 in hopes to bait the Thunderbolt into that instead, because if you get paralyzed, it's just awful.
Yeah, I think the old...
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think the old strat was like X special defend, X special attack, hope you live on like low HP, hyper potion the fool, X special attack again, kill the electrode, and if you ever got critical, you lost. If you got paralyzed, you were in danger of losing. There were like so many situations that made this fight completely run ending, but now it's just X special attack twice and fight's over.
Yeah.
Nice Ditto popping up out of nowhere, or Rattata.
Something we actually, it was basically the same speed as the fight you just outlined, but was kind of more swag, was we would lead with Eevee and use Glitzy Glow.
Just to paralyze it.
Well, no, to give it light screen.
Or light screen, yeah, right.
Put up the light screen and then use Double Edge, so that way we killed ourselves with recoil to get the Starmie in for free.
Really silly.
Yeah. Nowadays, we actually, some runners will actually just not even put Dodrio or Doduo or Pidgeotto in slot 2. They'll just put Rapidash in slot 2. Because technically it is faster to not have something die next to you. But you do risk the crit or paralysis, so it can be risky.
The paralysis isn't that big of a deal, but the crit is a pretty huge time.
Yeah.
Oh, nice Ditto.
There's something funny to me about, like, in most Pokemon games where everything's on, like, the four-way grid, spinners instantly turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, a spinner instantly turns to the right and then instantly turns up, etc., etc. But in this game, the spinners have physical movement between left and right, but they can't see you. Even if you're standing right next to them on the diagonal, they look right past you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't directly in front of me as I turned. I blinked while I was turning.
And in this game, spinners are even better because they not only can't see you on the diagonal there, but they're also very consistent in the amount of time that they'll be looking in one direction.
Yeah.
You don't have in Gen 2, you could be sitting in front of somebody who's spinning wildly and then stop spinning for 8 seconds.
Yeah.
In this game, there are essentially spinner cycles. Sometimes you get through a room and it takes you the same amount of time as last time, and the spinner's in the exact same spot it was last time. That's actually going to be useful in Sabrina's gym when we get there, if I do the teleporters correctly. So, little optimizations like that.
Gen 2, it's sometimes 4 frames in a 60 FPS game, and then they spin. They can spin 15 times a second or not spin for 10. Just really silly.
I never marked.
Also, good job on the questions. That's always a big struggle.
So what's your catch count at now, my friend?
My catch count is at 43. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 evolutions. 2 of them are level up evolutions, and then 3 of them are stones to do. We are in very good shape.
Ooh, confused race, always awkward.
Yeah, you can get no confused right here. It's rare. It's like 30%.
Pewter crunchies.
Yeah, so there are some region-specific items that will act as full heals. So
Yeah, there's actually a lot of them. There's maybe like 5 or 6. Brock gives you those when you talk to him in Pewter, or not, Celadon.
And we learned in the little conversation we had before we started streaming today that you can actually learn about the Pewter crunchies if you talk to a random bookcase in one of the Pokemon centers.
Yep.
That text was actually about Pewter crunchies.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
That Rapidash and this Ninetales are basically the 2 things that can outspeed you if you have bad speed. And they're not terribly dangerous on their own, but the combination of the 2, plus you could potentially get burned by the Magmar and all that kind of stuff, could just waste a lot of time on this fight. Aside from that, though, your speed more or less doesn't matter. We're X-speeding to outspeed everything that we need to, so. I do need to remember I did not teach Hydro Pump. It was on purpose.
Yeah.
But it's so different than the normal route.
I love this, by the way.
How many badges do you have? 7, me too.
7, me too.
3.
Yeah, you just do things severely out of order in this game. Like, oh, we just beat up the 7th gym leader. Back to the 3rd. Here we go.
Yep. Now we're gonna go take on Surge. Surge and Erica you can do in either order.
Yeah.
Do Surge first, honestly, because it's just faster on like the fly screen.
Yeah, I think it
that's not
actually
true.
doesn't matter.
It's faster on the fly screen to go to or from Cinnabar to Vermilion, but later on we're actually gonna fly from Celadon to Celadon, so that's why it's faster.
Oh, is there like less loading or oh, because you use Mash A.
Yeah,
right,
use Mash
makes
A.
sense. Yeah, yeah.
All right. So from the beginning of the run, you guys actually didn't know this. I've been doing RNG manipulation for cans.
Nice.
So
Let's go.
these are always going to be the same cans.
Go.
There's one.
This is frame perfect though for the second A press.
Yeah.
He's actually been
Got it.
holding Manip for the
Nice.
last 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah. You guys didn't see it because I was because when we took the break, I had to actually go into the pet screen in order to like pause the minute. That's why I was in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't pause the manip. It just makes it advance at a rate that we know. Because normally it advances randomly when there's wild Pokemon being generated. But when you're inside the pause screen,
Shen, you can't give this many fake details.
when you're inside the pause screen, there's no RNG being called, so that the RNG doesn't advance faster.
This is too realistic of a fake detail.
Yeah, no, they're always the same 2 cans. Like, literally always. Even if you fail the puzzle, it will still be the same 2 cans.
Oh, that's pretty silly.
I don't know why. I mean, I'm assuming... Because, I mean, realistically, when you think about it, if you're playing through the game once, that is random to you. You don't know which cans they are. So it effectively serves the same purpose. It just, for some reason, they decided to make them always the same 2 cans.
It like only helps speedrunners, I feel like, and no one else. Well, until you notice the pattern of, oh, it's always this can for the first one.
Yeah, and the 2, I think part of the reason why they did it is the trainers that I avoided will actually give you hints as to where the cans are.
Yeah, I think that's
after
correct.
you beat them, they'll tell you, like, I think actually, let me talk to this guy. I heard there isn't a switch in any trash cans next to the red trash can.
Yeah.
So, like, there's the red one, so it's not next to that one. So, like, that's probably why they're fixed, but it's just funny.
I like to think in Generation 13, when we get another Gen 1 remake, they're going to make Surge have, like, trash cans on conveyor belts, and it's going to just be,
awesome.
like, it's gonna be awful. There's, like, 100 cans being cycled through. You have to, like, wait for, like, specific cans.
I don't know why, but when you said trash cans on conveyor belts, the only thing that came to mind was the Lickitung mini game in Pokemon Stadium.
Oh, that yeah, like
And
it would
now
be
I
like
want
that with
to be a
trash
gym
cans.
puzzle.
Pretty sick. You have to get like a high score or something.
Yeah. All right. So this gym has the hardest gym requirement. We have to show her a cute Pokemon. Every Pokemon is cute.
That's just
wholesome.
a fact, honestly.
That's very wholesome.
It is. We were like conspiracy theorists when the game first came out. I was like, maybe she doesn't like fire Pokemon. What if you try to give her like muck or something? That's an ugly Pokemon. But no, she likes anything.
Hey Shen, what's your favorite Pokemon?
My favorite Pokemon is Gengar.
So even if you show her Gengar, they're like, that's fine.
Are you just being mean? Gengar's adorable, dude. What are you on about?
I want you to be hurt, Shen.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. No, I
You
like
heard it
Gengar
here
too.
first, chat.
You heard it here first.
Also, barely dodging all these trainers because of half tiles. Once again, you can have half an A press and half a tile. Able to
Yep.
dodge all of these
You
trainers.
can you can even have a ninth of a tile, as we've discussed.
True, we have learned you can be on the 9th of a tile.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, Shen, did you, speaking of A presses, did you see what GIFX did for PSR Community Day?
I didn't. Wait, what happened?
GIFX did Pokemon Blue glitched catch 'em all, no, start, select, or B.
That's sick. I have to go and watch that. That
I didn't get to
sounds
watch
so
the whole run, I
cool.
just remembered it.
Wait, no
But, like-
start, select, or B.
Yep. I think it was a lot of Brock through walls stuff.
Yeah, that sounds
it's-
like it would take a while.
That's phenomenal.
You can do death flies if you get lucky. Oh, you
Yeah.
can never save. Saving's banned. Dang, that
Yeah,
sounds...
you can't save.
Okay, yeah. I'll have to go back and watch that. It sounds really funny.
All right, so there's Doduo hitting level 40. We actually used Dodrio on the next fight, so that's a good level for us to hit. Talking about the game now.
Yeah, is there anything else you want to talk about that isn't Let's Go?
Yeah, Shen, how's your day, dude?
Oh, it's going pretty good. I get to watch a really cool speedrun from a really cool speedrunner. It kind of sucks, though, because there's this, like, third wheel in the chat that's kind of just, you know, putting an input here and there. I don't really care for, but I'll get through, you know. We've only got, like, an hour or two left. We're
He
getting there.
wasn't here. I thought I was going to get out of this without being made fun of.
I thought he was making fun of me. Was he making fun
Oh
of
no
you?
no no! There was definitely you're definitely taking this the wrong way. I think I'm 100% making fun of ADEV.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
good. I mean, well, no, not ADEF. You like ADEF?
Oh no! Whatever. Whatever. Can we do?
It's alright, I can take it. Hours
How
and
was-
hours
how
of
was
playing
your
video
day,
games with
Daph?
Shen. What was that, Shen?
Right. How was your day today?
Well, it was pretty good until I started talking to Shen. But before, up
Right.
until then, it was really good.
No, I can believe it. It must suck like being in a chat for this long with someone you've never won against in a race. Like
That's literally not even true. That's literally, I won against you in battleships, and I've won Needle in a Haystack against you, and I've won Guess Who against you. This is blasphemy. I think I've won 3 times.
It's actually pretty. That's more than most human beings. So you're definitely in the above average as far as like humanity is concerned.
Shen, I'd like to challenge you to a foot race.
Foot race.
Name any distance.
20 miles tool assisted.
Does that mean you can use a car?
Oh, I make it faster than a car. You're not ready for my strats.
What are your strats?
They'll have some rockets, some roller skates, dude. We're gonna be flying out there.
Sick.
Next in-person GDQ is gonna be wild.
We're gonna wait. GDQ staff are cowards if they don't let Shen and I do a foot race on stream.
We'll get it all mapped out. We'll plan this a little bit smarter. You show up, you're like athletic wear with like, you know, your running shoes. I show up on the motorcycle ready to go. Got my license and everything for this.
Oh,
Let's
man.
go.
All right,
Hey,
so
etiquette. You want to talk about the video game?
Sure. We're going into Silphco.
Nice.
Yeah. Actually, this is this is one of the fights, sort of like Rival 4, the one in Lavender Tower, that showcases the 2 controller strat really nicely. We are going to utilize both Starmie and Dodrio in this fight. Turn 1, the blue has an Executor. Executor is literally the only Pokemon that Starmie's moveset is walled against. Every other type combination that exists in the game, we can hit at least for neutral damage, but Executor we can't. So we have to use Dodrio. We're going to X attack from Starmie into Dodrio and Drillpeck, and then turn 2 is Charizard. And we're going to X special from the Dodrio and use Scald. So it's a really cool showcase, like I said, of the 2 controller strats.
Yeah, this fight would be a pain. I think you would just switch if you were doing this without 2 controller strats.
Yeah, that's what we used to do, is we would lead Dodrio and then switch after we got rid of Executor.
Yeah, so you use Starmie to set up an X attack to KO the Executor, and then right here, X special and use Scald to KO the Charizard.
Yeah.
Also, can we talk about how this place is being taken over by an evil corporation, and this guy's out here like, oh, we need the battle. Oh, that survived, dang.
I purposely didn't use an X item.
Oh, because you were short, because you used one earlier or something.
In a way, because I'm doing it's friendship based, basically. I didn't want my friendship to go up.
That's really cool. Yeah, so friendship's another mechanic where once you hit a certain friendship threshold, your Pokemon's gonna like turn around a bunch, and they'll post more messages like, oh, your Pokemon is anxiously awaiting your command and stuff like that, which is slow. So trying to stay below that friendship threshold right now.
Yeah, normally we hit that threshold on Agatha, where we start turning. Like, the big thing is we turn around whenever we use a super effective move. And think about Agatha, all poison types. We're going to be spamming Psychic. Every single one of those is super effective. So, because I didn't teach Hydro Pump, I have to use more X specials, and every X item we use increases our friendship a little bit. I think it's like 1 point every time. So I was just trying to save an X item, so that way when I use an extra one, it like cancels each other out. I just don't want to end up with turnarounds on Bruno, because that each turnaround takes about 2 seconds, so a full fight is like 10 seconds or more of wasted time. Also, this is a fight.
Here we go. This is a fight. The true double battle. You can't control the Cubone, and that Electrode is a big threat. Well, everything on this fight's a big threat, and that's really bad.
Yeah, this fight is notorious for wasting time. It is not impossible. I don't want to say it's impossible, but it is hard to die to the fight. It is very easy to lose whatever pace you are on, though.
Yeah, because the Starmie took so much damage, forced to heal here. Really want this Electrode to either explode or get critical by Bone Club this turn.
Explode, good.
Would be beautiful. Crit the Eradicate, it'd be hype.
Yeah, exactly. If we can crit the Eradicate, Cubone used focus energy, so crits are
Let's
more
go.
All right. So now the fight, it's still not the fastest version of the fight, but this is completely free now. I just have to spam Psychic.
Really, really fast. As soon as the Electrode's off the field, you kind of just breathe a sigh of relief, because that thing just is so annoying.
Yeah, the big problem is if, like, actually, one of the worst ways the fight can go is you get self-destruct turn 1 and also get protect from the muck. So the Electrode is gone, but the muck sticks around. And you end up leaving, when the muck goes down, Raticate comes out, and you end up leaving Raticate around because it doesn't pose that much of a threat, or at least not as much of a threat as the other things in the battle. But the Raticate is sitting there spamming Sucker Punch. And Sucker Punch is super effective against you. It deals quite a bit of damage, so you typically would have to heal in that case. So the fight I just got, like I said, not the fastest fight, but honestly, that's fine.
Yeah, one of the worst fights in the game, too. So,
Edda, would you be able to do the second break after this area?
Yeah, actually, that'd be a perfect time to do it.
Sweet, just let me know.
All right. So,
is that just like casually a picture of the tower from Gold and Silver?
Yeah,
actually,
the
it is.
artwork's really good in this game. I had a really good time when I played it casually, just walking around looking at all the artwork. But there's some really cool posters you can see.
Do they give the free Lapras in this game?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, and
But
the free
it is-
Porygon.
Yeah, there's a free Lapras and a free Porygon, and they both are after you beat Silph Co.
Yeah.
So, 2 more fights here in Silph Co. This area has a ton of battles. Like, Silph has 12 floors, I think it is, and there's 11
there's a lot.
floors, and there's trainers on all the floors. There's 1 mandatory battle to get the card key, 1 battle once you get into this room, and then you fight Giovanni, and that's it. Like, we get to skip this entire section, which is really nice. I did I did a playthrough of the game where I followed the trainer guide, like the strategy guide,
Oh no.
and this area literally took over an hour. This one, like, just going floor to floor in Silph Co just took over an hour. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, because they probably had you grab all the items and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, a bit silly.
All right, so Weezing decided to target Starmie. Not a big deal. I just have to heal here.
Did Weezing just use Thunderbolt?
Yeah.
Does
Weezing gets a
learn
lot of
Thunderbolt?
moves.
It's that by TM, I assume?
Yeah,
think it's
Thunderbolt,
TM.
Flamethrower. It gets a lot of good moves. Weezing's like a pretty mixed special attacker. Yeah, I think that Weezing in particular has Sludge Bomb too. It's pretty scary. But I mean, you can see the improvement on like when we were using Eevee, where you had to set like 2x items and still 2-hit stuff. With Starmie, it's just psychic items.
All right, so now we're going to fight Giovanni, and then yeah, after we beat Giovanni, we can break.
Excellent.
Man, Giovanni's just like really well dressed. Can we talk about this?
I do love the turtleneck plus suit jacket combo. He
Yeah,
really
it's
It's a
rocks
nice
it.
combo.
The insignia's looking clean.
My man is fit, bro.
Yeah, no kidding. Dude, I see why people work for Team Rocket now.
See, that's the thing. You always see villainous leaders in fictional media, and it's like, what do these people see in the Joker? But
Yeah.
Here in Giovanni, we've got a calm, cool, collected CEO with business savvy that's also better at Pokemon battles than anyone who works for him. Clearly, there's a reason to be on this guy's team. Now, the eco-terrorism isn't great, but
Yeah, it's a bad
you
look,
know,
honestly.
the health benefits I hear are quite excellent. So.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of good health benefits you get from living in the Pokemon world. You know what I mean? Because Pokemon get free
Yeah.
healthcare, but what about the people? You know?
Yeah, where are the people centers?
Yeah, do we have people
People
centers?
centers. All right.
Does a character ever go to the hospital in the anime canonically?
I mean, if they fell off the rolling chair in the Rocket basement, they probably would have. Somehow got out of that one unhurt.
All right, we
Should be a good
pause
time
it?
to break. Yeah.
All right, gamers. We'll be right back after a quick break. Just take the opportunity to get up, stretch your legs, get some water. I'll be right back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. This is Challenger approaching with Pokemon Let's Go Eevee presented by Etiquette. Sounds like he's the company sponsoring the game, but that's not the case. Just a few quick announcements. We will be shifting times for some of our Games Done Quick Hotfix shows. Check out gamesdonequick.com/hotfix for more info. Challenger Approaching is one of those shows. So Challenger Approaching will be at 7 p.m. Eastern instead of 10 p.m. Eastern now. So Badger 360 Prison to come back on the show. Also, I'd like to announce, if you missed it, that a new show has been added that I'll be hosting. So I'm joining the 2-show club, which is just me and Skybills right now. But PB Precipice will be on Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern, showcasing runners on the verge of a personal best, doing attempts. With that, Etiquette, take it away.
All right. Get started in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So we are back here with Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, Beat Red category. We are almost done with the main game. Not quite. But this is a category where we have to beat the game, and then once we get into the post game, it unlocks the Master Trainers. So every Pokemon in the game has a Master Trainer. And the idea is that those are the best trainers or like somebody is the Eevee master. And so if you beat the Eevee master, you become the Eevee master. And the way that you beat the Eevee master is by using your Eevee to pound them to the ground. The master trainers are all very high level. The lowest level is 65 and the highest level is 75. So they are very high level considering the fact that we typically end the game at like level 54. So it's going to be interesting to do it in a speedrun fashion. There are a couple of unique strategies that we can use to make the fights doable at lower levels. We're cleaning up our catches. So for anyone that doesn't know, in order to beat the game, we have to catch 50 Pokemon. Koga's gym has a requirement where you have to have 50 Pokemon registered in the Pokedex. So that was Pokemon number 46. We're going to get 47 in just a second, and then 3 more really quick right after we beat Sabrina. And then we're making our way to Koga.
Yeah, I think Sabrina, her requirement's level 45, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you need a level 45 Pokemon to face Sabrina, which luckily our Starmie's already passed level 45. And then after that, it's just Koga and pretty much heading to the end game at that point.
Yeah. Sabrina's gym requirement is honestly one of the reasons why soloing either the Eevee or the Pikachu just isn't really viable.
Yeah.
So when we did the hideout, where we did, the first Jesse and James fight that we complained about and all that kind of stuff, we were fighting level 35 Pokemon. We then did Pokemon Tower, and then after Pokemon Tower, we did a lot of catching and then ended up in Mansion. We went from level 35 on Giovanni to level 43 on Ted in Mansion. Like, it is a ridiculous amount of a level discrepancy. So, trying to main the Eevee until the end is just not really viable. So we're doing our last shop of the run here, just buying the rest of the X items I need. Kind of messed up the menu, but it worked out fine.
40 special attacks.
Buy 40 because we need like 25, and it's just faster to hit left then. I end with exactly 0 money. That was not planned.
That's pretty sick.
That's really sick.
And into the... Oh, this is third to last gym, not second to last. So okay,
Yeah.
My God,
I
can't
love
believe
this
Shen
gym
just
in
almost
this.
lied.
Yeah, I've never lied before.
Not once.
Definitely
I've
This
not
gym
lied
is-
once. No, that is a correct statement. I've not lied once.
Correct.
Fair.
This
I do
this
love this
redesign
gym.
this redesign is so sick.
Yeah,
I love this
for sure.
gym. I like all of the gyms are really good in this game. Like they kind of went the Gen 8 route, which I mean this game came out before Sword and Shield, but they kind of went that route of having it be like, oh, there's like a crowd and stuff. Like in some
Yeah.
camera shots, you'll be able to see there's actually like stands where people are sitting, and it's really cool.
Yeah, they have it
This
here. This
gym-
isn't really a noticeable one.
Yeah, this gym has a noticeable one, and then Koga's gym has another really noticeable one.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you take this path the same every time, the spinners should be there. Like the spinners should be the same spot in their cycles every time. These teleporters, it's actually a little bit of intricacy to like step on them in the correct way. When you go to step on them, you'll notice a lot of times 2 different turns. The first turn will be I'm going to turn to square myself up to get onto the pad. And then the second one is I'm going to turn to get myself squared up to be facing down when I get poofed away. So by walking directly onto the pads or walking directly onto them from the top specifically, we can save a little bit of that time. And if you don't do that, then the spinners aren't always in the same spot. So just a small little thing.
This fight's kind of annoying because the Misrhyme leads with light screen, and you kind of just have to stall it out. There's not really a better way of playing it, so you just
Yeah,
set up a ton here.
It's actually rough if she doesn't lead with light screen, because usually that means she'll use it turn 2, and then you'll have to waste another turn.
Yeah. Nice burn on the Mr. Mime. Time loss.
Sometimes it matters. If you have bad special attack, you actually could not one-shot here,
Yeah, fair.
or a two-shot. So the burn could be nice, but I didn't need it.
Yeah, not with that special attack. And light screen ends here, which is perfect timing.
You know, as opposed to the gym challenges in Sword and Shield where, like, you know, it's a whole event and, like, you challenge and then, you know, you could in-game say that that load screen means there's a set of time where they're like, hey, guys, a gym challenger's coming, so buy your tickets. Here, you just walked up and then there are, like, 20 people that sit here presumably all day.
I mean, it might also just mean that there's enough challengers, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people
That's
going
fair.
for the gym badges.
That's fair, but I don't see anybody else, and when you check the thing, it only ever says you or your rival.
I don't think it does in this gen.
I don't know what it does in this one.
And that could be just for today's challengers. It's never stated
Either-
how long that is.
Either
That's
that,
fair.
or they have some sort of like broadcast system where they can be like, hey everyone, there's a challenger approaching. All right.
Speaking of
Anyways,
challenger approaching every other Friday, and
You're literally here right now. Also, Etiquette and I had the same response, which was just to make noises.
let's go,
Let's go!
let's go.
Let's go!
Now, if you set your timer on your phones right now for every week recurring, 50% of the time you'll be ready for the show.
This month, it's never again.
True, because you're taking a vacation.
Yeah,
wait, hold
there's no more challenger approaching this month. But I did 2 back-to-back. I did one last week and this week to sort of
True.
make up for that, so...
Grabbing all the
right.
stone evolutions here.
Yeah, grabbing all the stone
All of them.
evolutions. We're gonna grab 2 things up here. This girl has a moonstone that's now ours, and then
She's
she's
leaned
the-
down on your knees to be like, hey, guess what?
I took your
I s-
moonstone. I took your
I
moonstone.
stole your prized possession.
and she also gives us substitute, which we're gonna use later.
Even worse in Gen 1 in the catch 'em all glitchless category, we go in and we steal literally a gold nugget off her desk.
That's fun.
We just stroll up, take her gold nugget, and leave.
All right. So Candy star me a couple times, get it to 49. And then lots of stone evolutions here. So this should be, I should say. There's a chance I miscalculated, but it should be Pokemon 48, 49, and then 50.
What's the backup if you messed up the count?
If I messed up the count,
Break switch in half.
yeah. I could run over to
Spencer.
yeah, I could run over to that route and get either a Tauros Pinsir. And there's like Weeping Bell and Venonat and stuff.
Yeah,
there,
there's
too.
reasonable stuff. Yeah, it's always a meme with these kind of categories where, like, a majority of the time, like, we're fine with the tracking, but you have that, like, 1 in 100 run where you just mess something up and it's like, oh
Yeah.
no.
Well, like this one, I did have the mistake where I thought I needed Marowak and then didn't. So I'm already kind of like, maybe I did actually need it and didn't get it.
Right, yeah, it's definitely something to think about.
I did. I'm gonna go through in my head real quick the Pokemon I need for the post game, because in order to fight Red, you have to beat 6 of the Master Trainers. So I just need to make sure I have those 6 real quick. I'm not gonna spoil them all.
So having the Pokemon just allows you to challenge them, but then you use your own lead.
No, so you have to use that one Pokemon, and you can only use that one Pokemon. Like you cannot switch
Oh,
in
wow.
my Starmie, for example.
So you're going to be maining Diglett.
Yes.
Yes.
Great.
And you can only use 1, right? You can't use, like, 6 Diglets.
Correct. Or actually, at least as far as I know, I didn't try.
Fair enough. I don't know either. I'm just saying.
All right, so now this should be 50. I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick little bit of menu moving, heal up. Elixir.
It's also nice now not needing to catch anymore because you can just set up your party to be Starmie Rapidash, and those are the only things getting XP now, so don't have to deal with any level up moves or anything for the rest of the run.
Yeah, and having one of the really nice things about Rapidash is, so I mentioned earlier when we were fighting the rival in Lavender Tower that when you have the AI for the Pokemon, or for the trainers, when they decide to send out the next Pokemon, they try to pick the Pokemon that has the best move against you. And so that's why you'll see if you did a run with Squirtle, for example, and you wrote down what is the order of every trainer in the game, it would be the same as if you did Golduck, or if you did Seal and didn't evolve it into Dugong, because Dugong's Ice type. Or Shelter, I guess. So by having two Pokemon out in battle, the AI can now choose either this Pokemon or that Pokemon to do its evaluation. And Rapidash is a very consistent with Starmie, believe it or not, to always give us like something that's at least good. If we were to use Aerodactyl as our ride Pokemon, for example, there's a chance that, I don't know why I Thunderbolted there, and I actually hit. I hate everything. If we used Aerodactyl, there's the chance that somebody would send out like the Raichu second, and maybe Raichu second is bad for us. So always having the same ride Pokemon is really important.
There is a misconception in the chat room. Golduck is not Psychic type.
Believe it or not, it is not.
Gen 1
is-
typings make no sense to me.
Golduck
Yeah.
is pure water.
I
Though,
could
to
make the
be
same
fair-
comment about like Starmie and Slowbro would have the same party compositions from the AI, because they are both water psychic.
Yeah, true. Imagine in Gen 1 though, if like Gyarados was Water Dragon like it should be.
Yeah.
I'll trade regular water type on Golduck for that.
What would we do in the speed run for Red? Because right now we use the X special so we can kill with Thunderbolt.
You would click Horndrill and hope.
Yeah.
You're talking about blue, obviously, and not Let's Go.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
'cause
for Red
the-
Blue.
Lance is just a brutal fight in Gen 1.
Yeah, you use an X special so that you survive Hydro Pump, and so that you have the special attack to KO it back with Thunderbolt.
Yeah, Golduck is like a huge Mandela effect. Like everyone collectively remembers Golduck being Psychic type, but Golduck has always been just Water type.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those Pokemon.
One of my favorite things like that, and this comes up every day. Well, not every day, but a lot of
Every
days
day.
that I
Every
do the any percent with DLC category in Sword and Shield. Somebody will be like, hey, you have a level 60 Pokemon. How is it obeying you? If you caught the Pokemon, it will always obey you. The
Traded
disobedience is for traded Pokemon specifically.
Now,
No way, for real?
yeah,
Yes. Since Gen 1, it is the
Then
traded
why does
Pokemon.
the text box? Why does the text box only say? It doesn't say anything about traded.
I don't know.
It just
Yes.
says Pokemon level 60 or above or below will now obey you outside of battle.
it
or in
actually
battle.
matters in Let's Go too, because you only have Misty's badge, and you have level 45 Starmie.
Yeah. That is a big common misconception, and every time somebody is like, exactly what ADEF just did. Like, what? What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Now, there is one exception to that. In the Catch 'em All speedrun, our Pokemon stop obeying us because we change our trainer ID in our item underflow bag, which causes our Pokemon that we captured ourselves to stop obeying because we've edited our trainer ID.
All right, but that's a whole other.
Yeah,
bag
which
of
is
worms.
really funny that that's a thing that can happen.
Well, that's how we would we in the yellow catch 'em all route. We
Yeah.
would change our trainer ID so we could use a Thunderstone on the Pikachu.
Yeah, because you can't Thunderstone Pikachu, the starter Pikachu in Pokemon Yellow, but you can still evolve Pikachu in Yellow if it's a traded Pikachu. So you would change your trainer ID so the game thinks that your starter Pikachu is a traded Pikachu, and then you can evolve it because the IDs don't match.
It's funny because, like, I swear, somewhere in my childhood playing Pokemon, I swear I'd playing Crystal once that I had it must have been Kenya, I guess.
Yeah, it could have been Kenya, it could have been anything else that you did in in-game trade, maybe the Onyx from the Bellsprout trade.
Wow, today I learned.
All So this is the last of the secret techniques that we're getting. There is one for Flash. I think it's called like Light Up or something, but we're not getting that one.
Yeah, it would only help literally rock tunnel only, right? There's no other dark caves at all in this game.
I do need to heal that. As minuscule as that looks, that is worth healing. And then head to Viridian. So we have 7 badges now. We went from having 2 badges for an hour and a half to gaining 5 more badges in a matter of like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's funny. Just like it's just one of those things where because you have to catch 50 Pokemon, you may as well catch the 50 Pokemon while you're not doing trainer battles, just because you get to farm all of the experience and get better Pokemon. Works out that way. Also, I like how presumably you go straight from Blaine to here, and you just have to sit through like 2 of these cutscenes with the guy back to back. The rifle.
Oh,
it's
here's
been a while.
another like Pokemon, I feel like, thing that people forget about. A fact, I guess. If under the truck, so there's this truck, right? And under the truck,
Go on.
what? Oh, that's it. You fill in the rest.
Oh,
Okay.
There's a Mew. That's the whole bit.
it's true actually. I saw a video on YouTube once.
I saw a video on the GDQ channel once.
It was on GDQ, that's right.
Let's go, Shen.
I'm just happy to feed the myth, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's important that children on playgrounds still talk about Pokemon Red and Blue.
I agree.
That's important to us.
You
None
know,
of this.
it would be pretty
none of this-
inexpensive to show up on the playground with one of those. Like a Game Boy and Pokemon Blue aren't that expensive.
Yeah. And like, would you rather your kid be talking, spreading slander about legendary beasts or whatever these things are called these days? What are the things in Sun and Moon called?
Ultra Beast.
Ultra
Yeah,
Beast.
who needs it? Legendary
What's funny is
Pokemon.
legendary beasts are from Gen 2, and you're like, would you really want your kids to talk about legendary beasts? It's like, that was me.
They're legendary dogs. I won't hear it any other way.
That is true, they are legendary dogs.
100% are, even though they're all
Literally
cats.
name one of them that's not a dog.
They're literally all cats.
Hot dogs in chat. There is a hot dog on board.
Okay, I never agreed with it not being legendary dogs until Etiquette just said that, and now I kind of agree. They
No,
are.
I still call them legendary dogs.
I still think they're
Cats.
legendary
I
dogs.
think Entei's a dog.
All I know is Raikou is a saber-toothed tiger.
Yeah, Raikou, now that you say it, Raikou's like definitely. a
Yeah,
cat.
well, they're the legendary beasts because they're not all one species. So there's the saber-toothed tiger, the big hot dog, and then the what is Suicune even? It's dog-like too, I feel like.
The
It's a
hot
water
dog
dog.
emote's the best emote.
The hydration hound, what is it?
Did you guys know that?
The moist hydration.
You guys know
hound.
that the legendary birds aren't actually birds?
Okay, go
Articuno is
on.
actually it's a cat.
That wouldn't surprise me because it does have some cat-like features.
Moltres
Mostly
is
not
definitely
liking
chicken,
large
though.
rocks falling on it.
Mm.
That is true. Moltres is definitely a chicken.
Still a bird. I don't think anyone's in disagreement that chickens are birds.
I think any Pokemon that learns fly is a bird.
I'm trying to think of a Pokemon that is not flying type that learns fly.
I think there's some.
There are a few, aren't
Well,
there?
Mew definitely.
Yeah.
Let's see. Fly.
Does
I
Pikachu
think
in
it's looking
yellow?
it up.
Does Pikachu in yellow?
No, it gets surfed though if you do the event.
Vikavolt learns fly?
Weird.
Be a
I
level
mean,
up.
it's a flying bug, but steel electric.
Oh yeah.
Whoa,
what about
that's
like
a
Venomoth?
reveal.
Does Venomoth learn fly?
I don't think so.
Oh. I don't think so, no.
There's
None of
even
those
flying type
bugs.
Pokemon that don't learn it. I know Golurk's a weird one that learns fly.
That's just funny.
Well, back in the XY speedrun, I think that's what we used as our flyer back in the early days.
Is Gyarados?
Yeah,
Learn
Golurk.
Fly?
Or no, we
Gyarados
only
does
got to
not.
Golurk. We never got Golurk.
But
I think we still got
Charizard
Farfetch'd
does.
back then. Charizard does not get Fly in red blue. It does in yellow.
Yeah, it doesn't
Well,
yell.
then Charizard, by your definition, is a bird.
It is. It's flying type.
There you go.
Dragapult.
Also,
learns
yeah,
Fly.
Giovanni's reveal is like all you need to know he's a badass.
Oh yeah, we're fighting the last gym leader.
Yeah, he's got like a
This fight-
throne.
This fight can be a little dangerous. We are... Alright, cool. We have to use an X defense, and if we get crit, it ignores our X defense, so we would die. But
I know Venomoth isn't
We're good.
flying type, but it has wings and flies. So that's why I was asking.
Well, it doesn't have the levitate ability, which makes me think it's on the ground. I think you're being
But it-
deceived by how fast its wings are moving. It's not actually in the air because it doesn't have levitate.
Right, so sorry, Shen. Let's play a Guess Who, and that will be the thing that we ask.
Is your Pokemon touching the ground?
we should play Guess Who, but you can only guess specific Pokemon.
That's pretty good.
Is it Gyarados? No.
It's one Pokemon.
6
at a
hours
time.
later.
Guess Who, but you can only guess one Pokemon at a time is literally just like needle in a haystack.
Yeah.
But you don't know what the Pokemon is beforehand.
Guess who, but you only get to guess when you catch a shiny.
Oh my god. You might as well just catch them all. And you have a decent chance of getting it by like halfway.
By finishing, yeah.
Alright. So we are done with our gyms, which is awesome. We came out of Giovanni at really good health, actually. So the next fight we're doing is... So, the fight in Silphco is probably the best showcase of two controller. This next fight is probably the fight that like just benefits the most from two controller in terms of speed. So every Pokemon needs at least one X item to defeat, and the order in which they come out is good for us to basically set up as we go. So we're gonna get rid of the Pidgeot turn 1 because we can get rid of it with one X item, but then we don't outspeed the Raichu. So we have to use an X speed before Raichu comes out, but Raichu doesn't come out until at least 3rd. And so like we can just sort of set up as we go. So instead of it being a 7-turn fight, with one controller, actually an 8-turn fight with one controller because you would want a guard spec. You can just set up as you go and have it be a 4-turn double battle. Instead. Really neat fight.
Yeah, even if the fight, it's not like that much faster because you are using the 2 controllers for it, but the consistency makes it like super worth doing this. Because you can just go
Yeah.
into this fight at 31, you have to worry about healing, which costs time.
Yeah, it does have the Pidgeot does have quick attack, so you do have to make sure you're above, I think it's like 27.
Yeah, outside of kill range.
But
That's
yeah.
something that you always have to be focused on in Pokemon Run.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, so Marowak comes out second. We can KO this easily with the +2 Scald, and while we're doing that, set up our plus.
Yeah, because again, you
it-
need the speed to be applied before the Raichu comes in, not on the same turn.
Yep. And Raichu can't come out second because so Marowak is the choice against Rapidash, and Vileplume is the best choice against Starmie. So you don't have to worry about Raichu coming out second. If you had Aerodactyl as your ride
Raichu
Pokemon,
would come out first.
Raichu would come out second, or would have a chance to.
Yeah, that's because Vileplume resists water, I guess. That's weird. It looks at like water and doesn't see the psychic super effective. I wonder how like that priority works.
So it's actually based on their offensive moves against you.
Oh, okay.
The Vileplume has Petal Dance, which is more powerful than Raichu's Thunder.
Okay, so it's based off how much damage they do to one of your Pokemon.
Yeah, and it's not even like raw damage, it's literally move power and type effectiveness.
Oh, yeah, because Raichu
Yeah.
would probably do about the same with Thunder.
So it's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's really weird how it does all that.
We assumed that for a while, but we just figured that out within the last, I don't know, maybe 6 months.
Jeez.
And there's even some weird things, like a move like counter is treated to have 60 power just for the calculation.
Yeah, that's gotta be really weird with the set damage stuff.
Yep.
I tried
then
to.
things-
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say things like double kick are treated as 30 powered, even though they're effective 60 because you hit it twice. It's a weird formula.
Yeah, definitely.
I tried to paste the message I had been sending about like get etiquette to 15,000 follows, pet Eevee, etc. But what was copied to my clipboard was the video that I sent.
If you posted that in chat, oh my god, the eardrums that would have gotten deleted.
I did not.
Oh, that was risky. I'm glad you didn't.
But this is a reminder to follow Etiquette on Twitch. Etiquette is a great streamer, very wholesome, very fun, very cozy. Look at that smile. And he plays a lot of Pokemon games, lots of Pokemon speedrunning, so be sure to check him out. You know what? We're going to lower the price because it seems gamers are in a quiet mood tonight. 14.5K, all right? 14.5. We're over 14.3, so at 14.5K followers, Etiquette's going to pet the Eevee.
It's true.
Guys, please post Edda Pets in chat if you have the emote, and then you can just literally click on Edda Pet to make him pet the Eevee by clicking on it and hitting the follow button. You don't even have to stand up. You can actually do the whole process while sitting down.
All right. So this is one of the fights that I'm going to have to do something different because I did not teach Hydro Pump. Normally you go for an 80% Hydro Pump here and you can still die. This fight is one of the worst in the game. But
Outrage?
yeah, it decides to outrage there instead.
I'm just surprised it has that move. That's so weird.
Yeah, it also has Crunch, which does basically half to us.
Yeah, it's
Sometimes over
scary.
half. That went pretty well.
And Venusaur just gets destroyed.
Yeah, effectively the same number of turns as if I just missed the Hydro Pump.
Yeah.
By the way, are we going to see a trainer skip?
So we should see one for sure. There's technically two that are possible here. And I say for sure before I get there, which means I'm not going to hit the trainer skip because that's just how my life is.
I love how Eevee just glows this whole time. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Eevee's going Super Saiyan.
I'm pretty confident you could push those with other Pokemon.
You probably could.
You know what? If there's a glowing Eevee on someone's head, I wouldn't fight them.
You know, you're
Oh my
not
god.
wrong.
Etiquette's up to 14.4. Let's go. Let's go. There's
Let's
drama
go.
now. There's drama now, baby. See, the thing that we don't tell them, Etiquette, is that potentially 14.4 just means actually 14.35 or higher. We don't.
I
we
was
don't-
gonna say I just looked and I saw how much it was.
Yeah, don't say that. Don't tell them that. They still have to do 100 more or
That's
a little
true.
bit less.
No, you could be the follower that puts us on the Pet Eevee. If you follow
Yes.
right now, it's very likely that it's you. We're so close.
And if it is you, you'll know that.
Yep.
And how
You'll-
exciting would that be?
You'll get the satisfaction.
Just know that Eevee would have gotten Pet because of you.
And if you don't follow, it means Eevee didn't get pet because of you.
All right, I follow you now. Final push. You get a free heal if you talk. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really nice getting that free heal right before the end.
it's a very convenient heal.
It's also fast. It's way faster than healing yourself.
True. Nice.
Can't push them diagonally. Weird. I thought there was like half diagonals or something.
I'm sorry. Are you talking about ninth tiles? I've been writing a PhD thesis this whole stream on my
The problem is
ninth
you were
tile
in
theory.
quadrant 4, but you need to be in 5, 6, or 9.
Yeah, tell him,
Get the
Shen, tell
correct
him.
push.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you're in the wrong
So-
quadrant.
So memes aside, another trainer skip. This is probably the most impressive looking one. See that girl right there? We don't have to fight her.
Nice.
Yeah, if you're
I
in
thought I hit
quadrants
her.
1, 2, or 3 of that, so you know, on the first third of the tile, you never enter the loading line, which is on the 4, 5, 6 line of the tile, so you don't hit the trainer's line of sight.
Now, we're not even, you know, Shen and I are not exactly in the school of thought, which, you know, we predicate on the information that you can only divide into ninths, but of course there are these wacko scholars who assume that the tile can be divided even further, perhaps infinitely, and we don't want to get into subtiles and sub-subtiles, etc.
Yeah. You eventually, there's some really weird theories going on out there about breaking up tiles into things so small that they are one singular pixel as well.
Yeah, I'm not about that.
Yeah, it just gets too hard to follow at that point. I don't have a microscope on hand.
What a
Yeah,
conversation.
game resolution isn't pixels by pixels, it's tiles by tiles. Everybody knows that.
Exactly.
Pokemon
Yeah,
Let's Go Eevee is 20 tiles by 10 tiles.
Oh man.
Yeah, 1980 by 1080 or whatever, 1920, 1080. That's just how many tiles are in the overworld. So there's 1900 tiles horizontally throughout all of Let's Go, and then there's 1,000 vertically.
Yeah, just be thankful I don't stream at 4K because you'd be seeing 4,000 ADFs.
Yeah, 4,000 tiles at a time as well would be hard to count.
I stream at 1.
Thanks for you. All right, you see the Slowpoke fan up there? Etika is going to skip this trainer.
Yes,
I'm not gonna skip this trainer.
Yes,
I'm gonna try.
you should try. You should try.
I'm
Is this the
100% gonna
hardest?
try.
This is the hardest trick in the run, right?
Actually, yeah.
I think it is.
I think this has been done like a handful of times.
Yeah, like
Period.
maybe 10 or less. This has been hit. Well, 11 after tonight.
We will try.
I can't wait till people reset over this trick.
I know. It's so far into the game.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so one thing you'll notice is when I'm like next to a wall, there's no ride Pokemon, and now there is. So there's the potential. No, didn't work.
I thought you were gonna save. I thought you were gonna save and try it.
No, you
No.
pause just to go full right on your control stick in like one frame.
Yeah, because so we have to use a Joy-Con, and the D-pad is not a D-pad. The D-pad is acting like the A button. So we don't. All of our menuing and all of our movement and stuff is using the joystick. So we wanted to hold directly right so that way we didn't stutter at all, but it didn't work. There is the possibility to bypass through this trainer. You can basically like be off of your ride Pokemon and then spawn into the ride Pokemon, and then the ride Pokemon hits the ladder load zone, so you can just go right past them.
Does
I've
Pokemon
never actually
size
been able to
affect
do it.
that? Can you use like a bigger Pokemon that have better odds?
Potentially, Rapidash seems to be the one that, like, somebody was trying it with Persian and like couldn't get it ever, but could get it on Rapidash every now and then. So
Onyx is gonna be meta again someday.
it honestly could be.
Yeah, it's a really inconsistent trick that again has been hit maybe like 5 to 10 times ever.
All 10 of those times were me.
Good one.
One of those times was earlier, like today, in the Oz Speedruns Marathon, I think.
Yeah, the Oz Speedrun Marathon had it hit.
Aspect
Which is
hit it.
pretty sick. Aspect on it.
That's really sick.
But yeah, so we are at the Elite Four. So we have 5 more fights. And then we are into the post game where we can start getting rid of some of these master trainers.
Yeah, if you want some analysis, there's 5 more fights, then 6 more fights, then 1 more fight.
Yeah.
That's great analysis, and that's why we hire Shen to keep coming back to the commentary.
I got you. I've been keeping count. I have a notepad here.
Nice. Wait, 5 more fights, then 6 more fights, and 1 more fight. Shen, I just can't. How many is that total?
Shoot, I have a calculator open. 1 sec.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, hold on.
Maybe it'll help if you do. Maybe it'll help if you do 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 and just press enter 12 times, and then you'll
5,
get
6, and 1, right? Yeah, 5 and 6 then 1. That equals 12.
Okay, but
Okay.
do we count any of the half fights?
A fight is a fight. It can't be just a
All right.
half.
No, that's
No,
not
no, no,
true.
no, that's not true.
We
That's
have
not
one
true.
half fight.
TJ, Henry, Yoshi.
No, there is a half fight, so there's 12 and a half fights. No, because if you continue holding a fight throughout the duration of multiple fights, it's one fight.
All right, TJ, Henry, Yoshi. All right.
I think you're the Henry Yoshi in this situation.
Listen, the half fight will make sense when we get there.
Oh my God, etiquette's not messing around.
I mean, I am messing around, but here's a half fight. I'll stand by it.
Better not
To
be
be
messing
fair, there
around.
may be a
You're a
lot of
married
half
man.
fights.
You're a
That's
married
true.
man.
That is true.
There will be no adultery on Challenger approaching, and that's a promise.
In my head, I was like, this Jinx has dry skin. That is a weird situation. That is a very, very weird situation.
I don't know what this has for moves, but the fact that it comes out 4th and what we know about the thing tells me it's nothing dangerous.
There's no chance it has Rock Blast.
sheer cold. All right, Hydro Pump. All right, we're fine.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't even be able to hit. Oh, wait, no, the same level. It could have actually sheer colded you, but it doesn't have that thing.
I don't think sheer cold's even in this game.
That was a weird situation.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do. I was about to say the Lapras and the Jinx are ranges, and I just
Did you crit into burn?
No, miss
was it just
range
high
in the
roll?
burn.
Yeah, it was a low roll into burn, so it died.
Okay.
And he got put to sleep.
And I got put to sleep.
Because normally what happens there is you get like Ice Punch for like 4 damage and then don't have to heal on the Cloyster. But the Cloyster came out while I think it was asleep. That was the most intense sit down I've ever seen.
Right?
He
Gonna break
sits
the
down
floor.
so aggressively.
All right, I accidentally used a Psychic on the Cloyster when I wasn't supposed to, so I'm gonna Scald those. I'm gonna waste super effective text. But if I end up having turnarounds here, which I shouldn't have, but if I do, I'm gonna waste an extra 2 seconds. All right, good.
Yeah, no turnaround yet. You get that like 52 normally, right?
Yeah, usually it's at 52. And it's very noticeable. But the nice thing is, as far as I know, it doesn't happen mid-fight. So like on this level up, I'm not gonna all of a sudden start turning around.
All right, Def, here's another fun question for you. You may actually
Okay.
know this. So Hitmonchan is 110 base special defense. Same with
Okay.
Hitmonlee, 110 special defense. What do you think their special defense was in Gen 1? They have 110 now.
Okay, well, given the fact that there was no special defense stat in Gen 1, just the special stat,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it was much lower because their special attack stat, which is what special quote unquote was supposed to be.
Hey,
I'm
that's
gonna say
thinking big.
I'm gonna say like 40.
It was 35.
35.
Okay, pretty close.
It's less
pretty
than
close.
Caterpie. It's so bad.
I'd like you to put some respect on my
Yeah,
name
that was
right
that
now.
was a good, that was a solid guess. I'm not gonna lie.
Honestly, 40 was what came to my mind too.
Let's go,
Yeah.
Etiquette.
I love how bad they are, like especially defensive. Because I was like, why do you care about special effective text on this fight? You can just Thunderbolt these things. I'm like, right, this isn't Gen 1.
You can use water gun on this.
Yeah, like Thunderbolt from a Dragonair that's not boosted can almost KO them. And Dragonair is like 70 base special. It's horrible.
That's wild.
I love her Gengar staff. It's so cool.
Yeah.
She also has a Gengar like neckerchief almost.
Oh yeah.
Well, in was it Pokemon? Not Origins. In one of the like anime episodes, she has a Pokeball in her staff, and she like pounds the staff, and Gengar comes out. It's so cool.
So there's the friendship power of love shake off the thing. I got it on the wrong turn. It's better to get it on turn 2 instead of turn 1.
Yeah, 'cause
Now I'm
that's
done with all
full
my
healing.
setup.
Like what, 10%, right? Oh, that's a lot of damage per punch. My God.
Yeah. So it's very nice that she decides to use Glare turn 1, typically. And those are the turnarounds. So every time I use a super effective move or I heal in battle, I'm going to get Starmie to turn around and look at me. And it's about 2 seconds every time.
I wonder when the experience route's going to hit the point where it's like, we need to save those 10 seconds on Agatha, and you have to under
So
XP.
you can save these 10 seconds if you want to go for some Hydro Pumps.
Oh, that's why you Hydro Pump the Nidoking and stuff. That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think the game's going to get there before it gets to the point where, like, I think it's more likely that trainer skip becomes meta before anything like that becomes meta.
That trainer skip is looking hard. If there's any geniuses in chat who want to work on it.
So the thing about that trainer skip is you'll both skip, or you'll... Actually, I don't know if you'll be a level lower here, but you'll use at least one less X item. And you're only, like, I think 3 X items away from not having turnarounds at all on Agatha either. And then Lance, you don't get turnarounds on because you don't use anything super effective.
Yeah, you only
so,
say it.
Yeah, so you, by skipping the trainer, you could also skip turnarounds here and save, in addition to the time for skipping trainer, 10 seconds.
You actually get both.
Yeah, you'd get both. All right, I'm going to do my first actual save of the game here.
I was surprised you didn't save for Agatha.
Agatha, I didn't save because I had Rapidash with me, and I could have just popped out 2 controller if I needed it.
Oh, right, yeah.
This fight is one of those crit and you die kind of fights, so just... Crits are 1 in 24, so they are rare, but they do happen.
We actually do not need 600 follows for Pet the Eevee. We have reduced the price. It is 100 or less now.
You've got
The
a
gamers.
little bit of time on that.
Get to twitch.tv/etiquette and follow if you're not, and Etiquette will pet the Eevee at 14.5.
It's true, I will. I have agreed to this.
Alright, so Lance is the dragon type trainer, as you can see. Gonna go ahead and set the next special defend here to block the Hyper Beam. That just kills if you're critical, so you just have to deal with that.
Yeah, Hyper Beam is both good and scary. It's good because he can't hit me the next turn, but it's scary because obviously a crit will just straight up kill me. The other moves it can use are Dragon Pulse and Hydro Pump. Neither one does a lot of damage. And I did take a lot of damage from those first 2 Hyper Beams, so I did have to heal there. And then because he used Hyper Beam on the last turn of my setup, I know he can't hit me here, so I can get a free heal in, and then spam Psychic.
It's faster to heal in battle than heal after anyway, right? So it's better to heal there than, like, do it after the battle, because you need to be healed for champion.
Yeah, I need to be healed for champion, although, now that I think about it, I am going to be doing something a little bit different on champion. I'm going to be using 2 controllers, so I'm going to have to go into my box anyways.
One of the scariest, if not the scariest fight in the game is actually the champion fight, which is really cool. I like how the champion's one of the hardest fights in the run.
Yeah,
Champion is like legit hard in red blue as well.
In
I don't
yellow,
mean from
for sure,
I don't mean
not
from
so
a
much in red
speedrun
blue.
perspective. I mean from a casual.
Oh yeah. That's fair. No, he does the smart thing. This is what all trainers should do. Lead with your strongest Pokemon. Like, if you're going up against someone who has 1 Pokemon, you should lead with your best. Champion in this game actually leads with his Mega Pidgeot, which is really interesting.
It's a very cool dynamic change, because like every time there's been a Mega, or like in Gen 8 Dynamax Pokemon, they're always the last Pokemon that comes out.
Yeah.
And in this, it's like, just starts the battle with a Mega Evolution. You're like, what?
It's also interesting that Pidgeot's the Mega. They didn't go with like Venusaur or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually makes the fight pretty interesting, having to deal with a Mega on turn 1.
All right. So, I'm gonna go ahead and pop this in my party. Has its purpose. Don't worry.
Yeah, Pidgey will be very useful against the Mega Pidgeot. It's like a initiation, Wraith of Passage. It's just a warm up for a fight that Pidgey might have to do later.
Yeah. giving Pidgey a little bit of a taste of what's to come.
It needs to experience fighting a level 50 Mega Pidgeot to be prepared to fight a high level Pidgey.
But yeah, normally this fight is pretty much the same as the Lance fight. Set up an X special defend and set up while you're praying not to get crit. Instead, you can do it with 2 controllers. And then turn 1,
Basically
Pidgeot
just
Mega Evolves
Geomancies.
and kills Pidgey.
Yeah, I think it always goes for quick attack there because it KOs with a priority move.
Yeah.
Now you can do special attack here and you're all set.
Yep. So you do die to a crit, but it's actually you have a chance to
124.
live a crit, but you would want to heal because then you'd be in quick attack range.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. We're now just set up for the fight. The main reason we don't do this strat for more fights, because this strat's actually really good. It's a very safe way to get through some of these fights with tough leads. The main reason we don't do it is because even though the second Pokemon is gone and we don't have to control it, the lag from double battles is still here. So you'll notice like the camera's panning around after I use my move when normally it wouldn't be doing that if it was a single battle.
And then the other issue, of course, is you would have to always be putting a weak Pokemon into your party, and you know you can't really stack up a bunch of weak Pokemon to be able to like throw them out every other fight because, well, one, they'd be getting sent out here and they'd be gaining experience, so it ends up being kind of a problem.
All right. Then one more poke. I have to remember to use Thunderbolt and not Scald. I've definitely done that before.
Might not KO you actually.
It might not. I think it
Silver
uses
doesn't have
Surf.
one. Yeah, it might, but like not the worst misclick.
And that is the champion. So, unfortunately, we do have to sit through credits. Credits aren't very
All the
long.
way?
All the way through credits. They're
Yep.
about 4 minutes. It's honestly not bad.
Shannon and
Much
I
better
can
than
play
Gen
rock.
6.
Shannon and I can play rock, paper, scissors.
You're just
Ready?
gonna call out one of them.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
You ready? You ready? You ready? You're going down.
Yeah. And on shoot, obviously.
On shoot. Okay.
Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Paper.
I was doing actually scissors. I'm not memeing. I'm holding up scissors.
Okay. A man of his word. Nice. All right. I trust you.
All right, round 2.
Okay. This time you say yours out loud, and I'm gonna. Oh, we can actually play with etiquette. That's much better.
Ooh, true. Etiquette's in on it too with the webcam.
Okay. Rock,
Right.
paper, scissors, shoot.
I did scissors again.
I also threw scissors.
I hate.
Oh,
I
destroyed etiquette.
double lost.
You know what my secret is, Adef? I've said this before. I literally have only ever picked scissors in rock paper scissors. I'm a
Yeah,
scissors
so-
main.
I do remember. I don't think this is the first time we've played rock, paper, scissors on stream. You and me.
I've done the
Now
same.
that I'm thinking about it.
And I got you with the scissors trap again.
Well, what's funny to me is that the implication that you in your whole life have never picked anything other than scissors is ridiculous.
I
awesome.
don't remember ever picking anything that wasn't scissors.
There's a theory that rock, paper, like what you choose on your first choice in rock, paper, scissors is based on your personality, and then what you choose after that is based on your emotional state. But Shen is perpetually just a psychopath. So he's just picking scissors all the time.
Well, rock is optimal because it's frame 0. Paper is like frame 1, and scissors is like frame 4. But
Right.
It's about the swag, you know what I mean? When you throw scissors, you're saying I can win even with 4 frames of lag. You know what I mean?
Okay, you know, it's funny. So at first I thought you were just doing a bit, but now that I've actually thought about it, rock is the fastest one, like no question.
Yeah, it's frame 0.
Rock is frame 0. Yeah.
Wow. Insta. Absolute insta.
I'm not sure of the frame data on paper scissors, but I know paper comes out a little bit faster. It's
Yeah.
It's like slightly faster. I think it's like 2-ish frames versus like 3 or 4.
Now the real question is, what's the hitbox? Like, what are the collision metrics on rock, paper, and scissors?
Well, if you lose to me after me saying that that I only throw scissors, the hitbox is huge because it really hits you in the feelings and you realize.
And
that
you know what?
just
I
lost.
could literally pick anything. I could pick rock because with safety. Because even now that you know that I know you'll always pick scissors, I know you'll never change because then your quote that I've never picked anything other than scissors will be ruined on live broadcast television.
It's true.
No, in private, I switch it up and people just can't say anything. Because I always have a contract. I'm about to play rock, paper, scissors with people that if they lose, they can't say in any way, in like any stipulation, what I use to beat them. So then it gets in their head even further. They're like, wait, but if I lose to him picking not scissors, I'm contractually obligated to never say that he lied. So it's this big mind game. Etiquette can relate, but he actually legally can't tell you that because he's under contract.
Can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah, he's like literally contracted.
comment.
He can't
No
go
comment.
against it right now.
Do you guys ever, like, as speedrunners, this is, like, almost not a bit, like, genuinely. Do you
Almost
ever,
not a bit.
like, it's kind of, I really have had this thought. Like, I genuinely sometimes think about IRL frame data. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I've been there, yeah.
like, sometimes I think about something and I'm like, well, that would take X many frames, I think. Like,
I
just
used
because
to-
my life for so long has been metriced by frames.
In my old apartment, I used to buffer the start button on the dryer, like the washer and dryer.
Yes.
I used to buffer the start on the dryer.
Yes, wait, appliances are, like, the place to be thinking about frame data.
Oh, I also do, yeah, frame data for sure. I do if I want to microwave something for 2 minutes, I'll hit plus 34 times instead of 200 start.
Because it starts counting down immediately.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's smart.
Yeah, that's so much faster.
Wait, you guys want to know something that's mind-blowing? If you type 100 into a microwave, it'll go for shorter than if you type 99.
Yeah, true.
wait,
It's 1 minute
wait.
versus 99 seconds.
Is this
1
some
minute
kind
versus
of, like,
99 seconds. Yeah.
Oh, I thought
No.
for a second I was duped and I was like, oh, is this something to do with the internal clock not handling, 3 significant figures properly? Like, but no,
Yeah.
you're talking about 1 minute.
Okay, you want to know something I used to do in the microwave? I
What?
would microwave everything with the popcorn button, but I would watch it so I would know when it's done.
Why? 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 Why?
Oh my
I did that for a bit. It was pretty funny. 'Cause it was.
I did.
It was faster.
I thought Shen was just gonna be like, I started
you
microwaving
just hit
forks.
popcorn.
That's funny.
Yeah, you just hit
Oh
the
my God.
popcorn button. It's already.
Where's TMs? There we are.
I did start, like, especially after I started playing bingo religiously, Ocarina of Time bingo in, like, 2013, 2014, whenever I was driving places, I would be like, oh, what's the fastest route? Like, I feel like if I do this chore, then this chore, then this chore, like, I feel like that's actually the fastest route.
It's pretty sick.
I'm gonna be teaching moves here for a while, so just we can keep the talking going.
Yeah, pretty much every single Pokemon on this team is going to be learning Protect, Substitute, and Toxic.
Yep.
Etiquette is a fun person to play against when you're doing like competitive battles, for example. And yeah,
Well,
this
I
is
mean, to be fair, Etiquette is literally putting up a level 6, or level 17 Diglett up against what I presume is gonna be much higher level than that.
Like
Yeah,
level
fair.
65. Yeah.
And for those
not
of you that don't
everything
know,
is getting-
Toxic... Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say there is one Pokemon that is not doing toxic stall strats.
yeah, that is
Let's
true.
go.
One of these fights will be one legitimately would be the term you might use. Fairly would be another term. Non-cheese. That's probably the
So,
correct term.
Non-cheese, yeah.
For those of you that are not really privy to, like, Pokemon strategies,
Why do you say
protect,
it like
substitute.
that?
I don't know. Chen, why do I do anything? Why do I be the way that I am? Why do I be the way that I am? You can put that on my fucking tombstone.
Why do you invite me on this program?
There's my one F for the night.
Oh, that It's true. He's on the list now. Let's go. We tricked him.
So Protect and Substitute obviously are just to like stall out your opponents, but Toxic is badly poisons your opponent. So badly poisoned is not just flavor text; it literally is different. It initially, I believe, boys, isn't it 116 to start?
Yeah.
So it's 1/16 to start, and then it doubles, but it never goes over half. So it's 1/16, then 1/8, then 1/4, then 1/2, and then it stays there. So the most number of turns it can ever take, assuming they don't ever heal or have leftovers or whatever, is 5.
5 sounds
right. Yeah, it's 4 to 6. 5 would be the average. I think it actually depends on if they have even or odd health, and I also think it matters if it's divisible by 4. I might be wrong.
Because no, I think that's right, because 16, 8, and 4 are all divisible by 4, so...
Yeah, I remember I used to, back when I did like competitive stuff, I would always make sure that my Pokemon had like specific hit points so they didn't die in like specific toxic turns, because that matters.
Right. So, Etiquette, why did you teach over Psychic on Starmie?
Excellent question. Starmie is one of the master trainers we're going to be doing, and I just don't need Psychic. I do need Scald for something else that we're going to be doing, but...
So is Starmie not going to be your main for Red, I'm realizing?
Ooh, he doesn't know. This is fancy.
It is not.
I have a feeling that I know what it'll be now.
We
It
might
can only
be
really be
using
one other
Psychic.
thing.
We may still be clicking the move Psychic later in the run. At
Yeah,
the
because-
current moment, we do not have the move.
Because it'll be Slowpoke using it.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
And we can just pick up the Psychic TM. It's fine.
Is Slowpoke even available in this game? It's in Seafoam, right?
Yeah, it's in Seafoam. All right. So, first Master Trainer. All these Master Trainers are very high level. This one is Birdkeeper Louie. Birdkeeper Louie has a Pidgey. Weird. Pidgey is level... It doesn't show me here. It's 65. This Pidgey, its only attacking move is Fly. So, what we do is we set up a substitute. That way we can tank a hit. And when it hits us with Fly, we use Toxic. It's badly poisoned. We're going to set up another substitute because it also has Toxic, and if it decides to use Toxic, then we'll die at the same time, and the game gives us the loss for that. And now we have Protect, so because Fly only hits every other move, we can never actually get damaged by this thing. And
It's smart to not use Protect 2 times in a row, even on the non-fly turn.
Yep.
Yeah. It doesn't matter at this point, though. Like, once it has less HP, then you can't lose. Well, no, you can't because it has Roost. I forgot about that. It does have Roost.
It does have Roost. So this just delays the inevitable. It will die.
Yeah. As soon as it doesn't use Roost, it goes down.
And then somebody in chat just asked, what are these fights for? So we have to beat 6 of the Master Trainers in order to unlock Red. And once we have Red unlocked, we can beat Red, which is the point of the challenge.
How many Master Trainers are there in the game?
There is 1 for every Pokemon species.
Oh, wow.
151.
Yeah, and the legendaries have different requirements. So they're that CP value we were talking about with the Starmie stats. They basically require you to have like 9,000 CP or something like that. So it is not necessarily the easiest thing to do, which is why I didn't do those. Like, there's no fight involved. It's literally just have your stats be this high.
This is like a cool,
egregiously high.
This is a cool post game mechanic. I like this.
Yeah, there's a lot you can do post game in this game with all the Master Trainers.
Yeah, and to be quite honest, we're abusing like some certain Pokemon mechanics and like moveset quirks and stuff. Most of these movesets are not like this. It was actually a struggle to find 6 that you can do this with. So just before anyone thinks you can just Toxic Stall all of them, you can Toxic Stall a lot of them. But
Yeah, like
usually you
maybe
can't
10.
do it with a level 17 Diglett.
Yeah, you will actually have to train up your Pokemon if you want to get all of them. So anyway, here's a, you might be able to guess what move Diglett has if we were able to abuse Fly previously. Wow, no way.
The one kind of tricky thing about this one in particular is this Diglett does have Sucker Punch, so you do have to be careful to never select a damaging move.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll be obliterated if it decides to go for Sucker Punch. But this one doesn't have a way to heal itself, so this one will be over in 5 turns.
You just always have to make sure you're protecting or behind the substitute on the right turns.
I didn't mean to substitute. That's just a waste of time.
Yeah, substitute's slower than agility.
All right. And we are done with that one. So, this is the way that, like I said, 5 of the 6 Master Trainers are going to go in a very similar way. The one that is not going in the similar way is actually the next one we're about to do. This one is my favorite because, like I said, it is not cheese at all. This is just purely using the movesets against the Pokemon. Oh, wait, I don't need to fly anywhere.
So is it also routed around ones that are close to each other so you don't have to fly, or is that really even a consideration?
I didn't really consider it, but it worked out nicely that like a bunch of these were on the left side of the map and then the rest of them are going to be on the right side of the map. So it's pretty cool. This one is this is the easiest one in my opinion. Well, okay. One of them you literally can't lose if you just follow the strategy. But this one is very straightforward. The other thing that's really nice about the Master Trainers is they allow you to essentially retry the battles immediately. Like, you don't black out when you lose.
Yeah,
it's just like, haha, I beat you. You want to try again? And then you can just sit there and try again. And it's really nice. You can also run away. If you're like in a bad position, you can just run away and try again. And when you start the battle, your Pokemon gets to full health. So it's like automatically healed. So it's really quick to just retry these. There's one of them in particular I may have to retry a lot. This one's really cool because it's a level 70 Kabuto against my level 44, and I two-shot it with Mega Drain.
Yo, 4x type effectiveness, so good.
It also has Leech Life, but we out-heal it.
That is a sick strat.
Yeah, Kabuto
I love
has
that.
no special defense, so it just drops the grass moves.
That's Kabuto, and then I'm just going to snag this rare candy real quick.
Yeah,
I wonder
delaying
who
that
that's
now.
for.
I wonder. Okay, so... oh, wait, I don't actually want to do anything there yet. These, like, post-game menus I'm not super familiar with, so I'm just getting through them.
One of the 2 escape ropes.
Yeah. So small little optimization thing. I move away from the door so that way Aerodactyl is flying, because the fly animation when you have a flying Pokemon just goes whoop.
Closer to the
It's
top
like-
of the screen.
Yeah, it's super minimal, but it's kind of fun. So we're taking a detour here. No Master Trainers in here, just going sightseeing. Don't worry about what we're doing here.
Why are you... I don't understand.
I love the look of this place in this game.
It looks so nice.
Oh, that looks really good.
And then, like, I kind of don't like how I like the way this room looks, but this room, they basically removed the puzzle from it.
Yeah.
Oh, the
anything, and it's
long
just-
maze.
Yeah. It's just this big open area, which is really nice for, like, grinding Pokemon, but it's...
The maze is
unfortunate.
iconic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Having
come
a
on.
bunch
There's a
of
rare
rare
candy right
candies.
here.
Yeah, hitting A button when you're like on top of the Pokemon to pick up an item is like, no, you weren't there.
All right. We're going to take a quick little thing through here. Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, we're doing this to get Mewtwo. Mewtwo is just going to be what we use to beat Red. Red is a team that's full of level like 85 Pokemon. So we're gonna have 13 rare candies for the Mewtwo. It comes in at level 70, and we're still gonna struggle through the battle, to be quite honest.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it the
actually
same-
still very hard.
Is it the same team present in Silver and Gold?
It is very similar. Actually, no, it's closer to the team from the manga, actually. because
Oh,
what they
that's true,
did
yeah.
was red, blue, and green all have like full team battles. Because green is a character that we're actually not going to see, but we're about to unlock her. And so
That's
We're just gonna-
weird.
that never happens.
Did you save?
I did save.
I've honestly never seen that.
Yeah, I don't usually. That's got to be a range.
Yeah, like I'm surprised that kills. You must have horrible bulk.
I didn't have good special defense. I know that.
Did you just lead Spadef then, I guess?
Yeah, I'll lead a Spadef. I'll do two different things. So basically, what you're trying to do with this fight. Okay, so the legendaries, you do have to fight in order to catch them. You can't just go into battle and catch them.
Yeah.
This is why I call this a half battle, by the way. Haha.
Wow! Wow!
So, yeah, I'm gonna. Usually, what you do for this is you just give something weak for the Mewtwo to like destroy turn one, and then you just start spamming X specials and stuff. Yeah, like that. That's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah. Burn would be helpful.
Yeah, and then the main problem aside from this is the it has recover, so he starts to out heal you and
Yeah.
whatnot, but you can get through it. There is a time limit on the fight. We only have 5 minutes. We're down to 4:26. It's at the top of the screen. It shouldn't
Ooh,
be an
good
issue. That
crit.
crit is really nice.
That was really helpful. That just guarantees the fight, I think, because now you just get the KO.
I can use Aqua Jet. It's not going to do anything, but I could.
It's kind of hype. You use Aqua Jet, but then you get like crit. It's like, oh,
All right, cool.
nice. Yeah, and what's funny is that 5 minutes, by the way, it's always 5 minutes, regardless of text speed, regardless of animations being on or off. It's just really
Yep.
silly. But if you're ever having trouble catching a legendary in this game, turn animations off and put your text speed on fast. Wow,
Cool
nice
animation.
ball throw.
Yeah, that was.
I love
frame
how he
perfect.
bats it away. It's so funny. He's just like, no, wait, actually, darn.
It's such a nice touch to the game that there's a special animation specific to Mewtwo.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Because they know what you're gonna master ball. Let's be real.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the most likely thing.
All right. Now that we have the Mewtwo, one really nice thing. Remember way back when we set our nature to modest for the Starmie? Yeah, this Mewtwo is now modest, meaning it has plus special attack, which is very nice. And now we're going to fill out our party with the rest of our the Pokemon that we need for the master trainers. Where is Pidgeot? There it is. Okay, let me do that. Not you. Ah, all right. There we go. So yeah, the Mewtwo Master Trainer is like have 10,000 CP or something like that, and we're at like 7,000. So we would have to give it a ridiculous amount of candies and rare candies and stat candies and all this other stuff, and it's just not worth it. But we do want the Mewtwo specifically for red. The main reason is red leads, like in Gold, Silver, Crystal, and Heart Gold, Soul Silver, red leads the Pikachu. So having Starmie would be rough.
There's no held items in this, right? So it doesn't have Late Ball, which is a really strong Pikachu. I think they gave it the candies, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
these master trainers are basically the only trainers in the game that have candies for anything other than HP.
Yeah, because all the like Ace trainer class have a couple of the HP candies.
All right, so we picked this one. This doesn't have, like, a common theme with all the other ones is they have 2-turn moves. Minimize is bad. This one doesn't have 2-turn moves, but the move it does have that damages us is Psywave. If you know anything about Psywave, Psywave is a move that deals damage in a very strange way. It is not a move with like 60 power or anything like that. It does damage equal to 1/2 to 1.5 times the level of the Pokemon or something.
I don't know if it's a half. It's like some number below their level up to 1.5x their level.
Yeah, so it like at most can deal like 100 damage to me. And so because I have over 100 health, I can just sort of sit there and spam recover while it's dying to toxic.
Yeah.
It's a pretty quick fight. Next up is Pidgeot.
Another
The
fun
Pidgey-
game crash from Gen 1 is if you have a level 0 using Psywave, your game will crash.
I actually did not know that one.
Yeah, it doesn't know how to multiply
some kind
0.
Of divide, some kind of divide or multiply by 0 error.
Yeah,
That's
there's a
great.
divide by 0 in there. It's really funny.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to use whatever. It's fine. The game doesn't let you through this gate while you're on Aerodactyl, so.
Yeah, it's annoying.
All right, so this is the most inconsistent of the Master Trainers. This is Pidgeot. The reason why this one's inconsistent, it has Sky Attack, which is the 2-turn move that we're going to be abusing. It also has Hyper Beam that it uses sometimes. So the goal here is going to be to get it toxic, get it poisoned, and get it, depleting health, and then try to get a substitute up. So that way, if I do get a rogue Hyper Beam, I can live it. Yeah, we're going to try to get a sub up. There's a chance it goes for Hyper Beam here. If it does, I'll just retry the fight. Got Reflect. Cool. So I should be fine.
You have speed after an agility?
I actually don't know. All right, but I am officially can't die. I am officially can't die. All right, good.
Ah, nice. I am officially can't die. Nice to meet you.
Of course, it's gonna stall with Roost, as all
Actually,
trainers do.
oh no! I thought I had like Wing Attack. Darn.
It might not even help that much.
I mean, I'm level 41. I actually could do some damage.
Oh yeah,
I just have
actually
to sit
Pidgeot's
here.
pretty high level.
The Toxic will overtake the Roost at some point.
Yeah, I think it goes like 5/8, then 6/8, then 7/8, or like
Yeah.
16ths. It just like slowly goes up. Yeah, I think next one kills, it looks like.
Yeah, this one should do it. Oh, I just missed.
Oh, if you had Wing Attack, it would actually mattered.
All right, there we go. Cool. So that is Pidgeot down. It's good not having to redo any of these fights. I may not be so lucky with red,
Yeah.
but so that is Pidgeot down. Next up is Fearow. Fearow is the one that I think is impossible to lose as long as you follow the strategy. So the Fearow Master Trainer has 2 damaging moves. It has Sky Attack, which again, as we saw in that fight, deals damage every other turn. So you can just sit there and use a different move, use Protect, use a different move, use Protect. And its other damaging move is Drill Run, which is a ground type move. And the reason it has Drill Run...
Wait, what?
Yes. The reason it has Drill Run is because the move Roost, when it's used, will remove your flying typing for that turn. So it's trying to catch you roosting,
Assuming you're faster.
assuming you're faster. But
What a specific situation to try to predict.
absolutely. It's like the Gyarados Master Trainer has Earthquake. Because it's expecting you to Mega Evolve. But like, it's so... Oh. I just protect... I'm just gonna run. Yeah. I say, you can't lose this one, and then I lose it. Cool.
Yeah, it's a misclick on Protect there.
but
It
yeah,
sucks that you got the Protect too. If you would have failed that, you would have been fine.
Exactly. But yeah, this one, it's just so funny that it has Drill Run. I'm sitting there, I'm like, why does it have Drill Run? What purpose does this have? And it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense with Roost. But like, I also wouldn't trust the AI to actually know when I'm gonna Roost. Like, how is it gonna call my Roost? you know?
Maybe they hard-coded it just for this fight,
Yeah.
which would be really something.
Yeah, it's funny you don't even have to teach substitute to the Firo.
Yeah. Just goes. All right, and as long as I use protect this turn, I win. Yay. All right. So that is
We're
all
done.
6 master trainers done. We are going to take one more small detour before we go fight Red. But we have officially unlocked him, so that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna put Mewtwo out front. I'm gonna ride Aerodactyl. I'm gonna fly to Cinnabar.
Chores to do.
One small thing. One more. Oh wait, there is another fight. I forgot about this one. So the strategy for Red is going to basically be set myself up to +6 special attack, or actually +5 works. +5 special attack, and then sweep. In order for me to be able to sweep at +5 special attack, I need to be really high level. So there is this coach trainer here who will give me 5 rare candies if I beat him. He has a team full of the 3 evolutions. So with my Mewtwo, I can just sort of stomp him and call it a day. There's
Can you
another one
pronounce
of
his
these.
name?
I didn't see what it was.
Ben, you want to give it a go?
Well, it's Coach something. I don't know what his name was. I wasn't paying
Alright,
attention.
I'll put it in the chat as etiquette continues.
But yeah, so there is another one of these coach trainers in. Okay. There's another one of these coach trainers in Power Plant, but this one here, Coach Yas,
Yay!
is
Epic.
Coach Yas is faster to get to, so.
I cannot believe that survives.
This Vaporeon is so bulky. Holy crap, I didn't know that lived.
That
just
thing
lived in
is
Mewtwo Psychic.
candied out of its mind. Yeah, the ace trainers, or the coach trainers, they use we've been talking about candies a lot. There's a mechanic in Let's Go where you can give your Pokemon like health candies and like special attack candies. They have all these like different names. You get them from like chaining Pokemon, and you can use the candies to massively boost your stats. It's very silly. Each candy increases your stat by 1. So you can have a level
What?
3 Metapod that has
What?
more attack than like a level 50 Charizard. So you can like stomp people with like level 3s.
That's
in Let's Go.
unbelievable. So it's not just like protein where it increases the EV.
Yeah, it straight up just boosts
It's
your
+1.
stats
So
by 1.
as I'm giving these candies, look at the +1. So see how there's a yellow +1 on special attack? That's literally just adding 1 value to that stat.
Is that because of his nature?
No, so you just get a random 1 every level up. And then you can also influence that with candies as well. So like there's
Okay.
quick candies and smart candies and stuff. So yeah,
how,
like
how high can you go with candies? Because it's pretty high, right?
200 per stat.
Yeah.
So you can be sitting there at level 5 with your 12 attack and boost it up to 212 attack.
Yes, this Mewtwo is 295 attack. You could have a level 1 Metapod with 201 attack,
Good.
which is really interesting. They can do, like, I'm sure someone will, as a meme, do like a level 1 playthrough where they just get a bunch of candies.
Yeah, Green Lightning in chat is correct. It does get harder as you go. You can't just use 1 candy to boost 1 stat after you've done like 100 of them. They start costing more, but it's
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah, it's still ridiculous. All right, so we are now fighting Red.
So I assume based on the fact that you didn't save, this works the same way as the Master Trainers?
Yeah.
I think you can run from this too, which makes it faster to reset. And you can't use items, right?
Cannot use items. That avoid
That's a
was
great
actually
dodge.
really clutch.
Yeah, jeez. This is very much a fight of do not get critical, then do not get paralyzed. I'm sorry because one of those will happen because I mentioned it, but That is effectively how this fight goes. You're just kind of hoping to avoid anything dumb from the Pikachu.
Yeah, we really, really want to get up to like, I think it's +3 special defense with Calm Mind, because then it will start preferring Iron Tail, which Iron Tail can lower your defense, so it's still not a great option. But it's just like paralysis is worse.
Yeah, paralysis is kind of just GG if it happens, but defense drop you can always barrier again if you need.
I think, am I at +4? Not
You're
plus
at 4 right now.
I missed a rare candy somewhere. I don't know where, so I'm only level 82. I am going to go ahead and just go to +6 to be safe.
Yeah,
Why
makes
not?
sense.
And then I'm going to... There's one thing that can outspeed me. I didn't check my speed. I think I'm fairly sure I'm high enough. But the one thing that can outspeed me is a Lapras with Mega Horn. So
That's
just gonna
silly that
take a
Lapras
last
can
minute
outspeed
recover.
you.
But as soon as I get rid of the Lapras, this should be GG.
Yeah, hopefully the speed doesn't come into play.
Alright. Cool. So yeah, this should be the end of the fight. That is a brutal start. Like I said, I'm actually very surprised that I got through that.
Yeah, no para, no crit was pretty sick.
No para, no
pretty
crit
sick.
at all. It's not too bad to just restart the fight, but like one of those things that's 15 turns of setup, and if you get crit on turn 14, it sucks. So
You're about to come in underestimate, my friend.
what is
Oh,
my time
that's-
looking like?
It'll be around like 350.
Ooh, not bad.
Oh, I think that's better than my PB. I mean, it doesn't
might
count
be.
because we took breaks.
Yeah,
but
it's unfortunate.
that's pretty funny.
Doesn't
I
count
did-
yet. Someday.
I did one run offline as like a proof of concept that I didn't time, but my in-game time was really good. It was like a 3:44. And then I did one run on stream and I got like a 3:56. But this is pretty good. That is how you beat Red. That is like how the game wanted me to beat Red. And
Is that time?
Time is now. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I was
Ish.
just like, is it on
I think
fade out?
it's technically here, but whatever.
Yeah, it's when you get
gamers-
Battle Master.
Before we do the whole outro, I'm going to give you a last couple of moments to follow Etiquette so that we can get the pet live on stream. It's very close, I think. I think we're quite close to the 14.5k followers, so be sure to follow Etiquette. These are your last opportunities here, so give him a follow, and he will pet Eevee if it happens. So be sure to follow the runner and thank Etiquette for such a wonderful performance. So first of all, Shen, thank you for joining on comms as always.
You're very welcome. Glad to be here.
And Etiquette, thank you for performing the run.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, any
I,
thoughts? Any thoughts?
I know I struggled to come up with a challenge run, but I hope this one did well. I think we had a good time. I think I love showing this game off, so I'm happy to do it. And yeah, I mean, like the time is pretty good, so
Nice.
I hope everyone enjoyed it.
Heck yeah. And gamers, just a few quick announcements here as well, and then we will go to a final break, and then we'll raid someone, so be sure to stick around for that. But GDQ Sum of Best Segments is now launched on YouTube. It's a highlight channel with regular videos like our main channel, but with small highlight reels for all of our main events and hotfix. And tune in tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern for Games Done Classic, a podcast about classic GDQ moments featuring Super Mario Odyssey. And at 7 p.m. Eastern, after that, is That's Never Happened Before, a show about glitches and showcasing them, which will feature Spyro 1 with Dio-Man. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that name correctly, but I sure hope so. And gamers, that's going to do it for us here. Etiquette, I'll leave it up to your discretion if you give a pet or not. This is up to you, my man. Oh no, is he gonna?
I'll do this. Pet this Eevee.
Yeah, okay. I thought you
Fancy.
were gonna break it or something.
Throw it. Yeah.
Just chucks it across the room.
All right, gamers, thank you so much for watching. If you're on YouTube, you can find Etiquette's Twitch link in the description. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.